guarantee. It's our way of giving you confidence throughout all of your cherished moments. We've been locally owned since 1948 and voted the best jeweler year after year. At Bailey's, we're not just selling jewelry. We're providing a legacy of trust. We invite you to shop with us and experience the difference.
Struggling to get the sleep treatment you need? I'm Megan Giggling, General Manager of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. You shouldn't have to wait for better sleep. Our streamlined process provides for sleep studies, CPAP machines, and supplies, without the long delays you'll find at other sleep centers. At Parkway Sleep, we'll help you get good rest faster and with the care you deserve.
With over 20 years of experience, join countless satisfied customers who have discovered the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit us today at parkwaysleep.com. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
Parenting is hard. Technology can make it harder. The Family Media Plan developed by the American Academy of Pediatrics helps make it easier. Go to healthychildren.org/media plan today to create the media plan that's right for your family.
The Carolina RV Super Show is coming to you. Join us at any Camping World in North Carolina or South Carolina, May 15th through the 18th, to shop ridiculous discounts on the best selection of new and used RVs in the Carolinas. Tour new 2025 RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Enter to win a new RV and enjoy family fun and on-site activities. Don't miss the Carolina RV Super Show at your local Camping World, May 15th through the 18th. Get all the details at campingworld.com/Carolina RV Super Show.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Another active day. It's a WRAL weather alert day. We have the potential for some strong thunderstorms. It's a level 1 risk, wind damage, isolated tornadoes, and some flooding is still possible. We'll see a high of 80 degrees. More showers and storms tonight and tomorrow. 63 tonight. Tomorrow's high, 80 degrees.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 160 points to 42,249. Market update brought to you by the Body Armor State Games. The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Now Gossespear, he scores! Top of the left circle. Off the catching up rebound. He scores! Seth Jarvis. Now Hall all alone. In on Thompson. Hall scores! What a play! Walker holds, shoots, he scores! And it's Andrei Svechnikov with it. Bingo!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. And the Carolina Hurricanes have a 3-1 lead over the Washington Capitals in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs as of last night. Really, really fun win for the Canes. And that's not to say that the Caps didn't put up a fight. It's not to say that it wasn't competitive or entertaining. It is to say that it's just nice when things work out. Right? 5-2 final score, which, by the way, if you listened to the show yesterday, I predicted on the nose. We'll just ignore all the other times when I wasn't close and focus in on I was on the nose with this one. It doesn't tell the full story because 5-2 seems, he must have dominated. No, not at all. Had the domination in the second part of Game 3, the second half of Game 3. Game 4 was actually as back and forth as a 5-2 game could go. And it actually, what it proved to me, or what it showed me, the thing that I took away from it was that was a mental fortitude win. That's a win that like the strength and conditioning coach should be proud of. Remember all that suffering you went through in the off season? It comes out in a game like that. That's the game that I just watched. It was about bouncing back. It was about facing adversity and being prepared for it and being mentally ready to not go down in the dumps, not stagger, and keep moving forward. Canes go up 1-0 first period, first of all. First period goal. How lovely. I'm glad I did not ink that joke about cutting off a pinky toe if they had a first period goal.
Yeah, someone was about to hold you accountable.
So somebody else who seconded it was like, we might be in trouble. I want to be like, go back and watch the tapes. I very obviously say that this is not binding. But they get the first period goal. Awesome. Then Martinook goes to the box for 4 minutes, right at the end of the first period, for a double minor for high sticking. That's the bounce back, right? They killed 4 minutes of penalty with the greatest power play goal scorer in the history of the league wearing the other team's jersey, and they killed 4 minutes, and it was dominant as a penalty kill could be. Right, you're going to hear me reference this, because of some places I've lived previously, and I don't hold it against them at other times of the year, but I know a bunch of Caps fans. That power play is when the praise of the Canes started coming in from Caps fans that don't watch the Canes as often. This defense is everywhere. This defense is suffocating. It's like a full court press all of the time. And it's yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. They locked in, they killed all 4 minutes to preserve the lead, including 24 seconds at the start of the second period. Then it goes up to 2-0. Canes have a 2-0 lead. Caps score with 5 minutes left, 5 minutes into the third period. 2-1, very different. Right? I joked that you felt everybody, media row, I joked that you could feel everybody's kind of focus in the entire arena get a little bit more serious. Right? It's like you stop telling that story about, when you were fishing last year and the fish you caught, and you're just like, we'll get to that later. And everybody leaned forward because 2-1 is a different beast. Taylor Hall, breakaway, buries it. Answered, right? Challenge, answered. Challenge, answered. And then it happened again. Canes 3-1. They give the Caps a 2-man advantage. And as great as the penalty kill is with Ovechkin out on the ice, 2-man advantage, probably too much. Ovechkin scores 3-2. Boom, Sean Walker answers. That's what it was. The whole night, it's something you can be proud of. Anybody can win when everything goes your way. It's way more of a culture win. It shows what type of people you have in that locker room if you face the adversity and you make it out on the other side every single time. There was someone waiting to answer the bell. Sean Walker, who was one of those answerers to make the score 4-2 and give him the multi-goal lead, which was so crucial again. He was asked about always having a response to Washington scoring, and this is what Walker said.
Yeah, I think that's something that's really important, especially this time of year. You got to answer when teams are making their push. Obviously, you don't want to give up those goals, especially late in the third. But I think as a whole, we kind of kept our composure, didn't really panic, just stuck to our systems. And again, Halsey made a great play on his goal, and happy that I got mine too. So worked out well.
It was. Like every time you asked a question or every time you voiced a worry with their play, they immediately answered it. And I think that says a lot about the people, right? Because it also says a lot about their hockey ability. Like, and Taylor Hall was able to score the goal, but it's because of his talent. Yeah, but also, I guess we'll cross-sport it here a bit. When we heard from Dave Canales, the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, and Dan Morgan, the GM of the Carolina Panthers, leading into the draft about what kind of questions they ask and what kind of people they're looking for. One of the things they said was they want players that have faced adversity. They want players that have fought back against something, so they know what kind of people they're bringing in.
People that have been through some stuff.
Exactly, been through some stuff. Right? Some maybe other, there you go. That was the Canes last night. Taylor Hall, former first overall pick, former MVP. He's been through it in his career, and he's come out on the other side probably feeling like he has a second lease on his career, a part of a core on a contender. But Yeah, he's the one. Oh, you think you're going to rattle me with a goal? I was getting DNP coaches this. I was getting healthy scratched for Chicago. You think you're going to rattle me with a 1-goal lead? No, been through it. Sean Walker was I went and looked it up today. He was the second leading freshman in points on Bowling Green's hockey team at the beginning of his college career. When guys are out there being NHL draft picks straight out of high school, he was the second leading freshman at Bowling Green and worked his way up to having
undrafted guy.
Undrafted, worked his way up to having a role in the NHL, had that taken away, sent back down, back up, back down, ends up getting traded for a first-round pick, and then he's playing third-line minutes on the team that just gave up a first-round pick for him. The dude's been through some stuff. Oh, surprise, Ovi scored a 2-man advantage power play goal. You think that's going to rattle Sean Walker? He's been through some stuff. Freddie Andersen. You think that guy hasn't faced adversity throughout his career, but even just in his time with the Carolina Hurricanes? Talking blood clots and knee injuries and games that I'm sure if he closes his eyes, he can still see the shots and everything that went haywire. Yet he's there, cool as a cucumber, making saves from the opening puck drop again. That's what last night's win was about. The second half of Game 3 where the dominance happened and it goes to a 4-0 lead, a lot of that is talent, right? Svech's goal, right, just being inevitable and crashing through to get a goal right there off the face-off. There's certain parts where it's like, oh, you know, I didn't have the determination to pull off that goal. No, it's like you didn't have the size, speed, the talent to pull off that goal. But last night it was a lot of the mental side, and I think that is almost more enjoyable, more uplifting. I was this is kind of a weird thing to pop in, but we'll roll with it. Just recently, my mom read a biography, and I even forget whose I think it was Julie Andrews. Shout out to Mary Poppins, and my mom read it because she wanted to just happy, and she figured, oh, Mary Poppins, right? The Sound of Music. She was just going to read it, and it was going to be this all this cool Hollywood stuff. Turns out Julie Andrews had a really, really rough upbringing, and there's lost all her money to a corrupt manager and all this stuff. And she was like, not what I wanted at all. And I went, Mom, there's no biographies really out there that are just like, I had an excellent childhood, went to an excellent high school, had a great time early in my career, met a great spouse, we had great kids, everything was great, and we're done.
And we were financially stable and everything was great.
Financially stable, invested well, health was always fantastic, friends are great, everybody still gets along into our 80s, and book. Like, there's no biographies like that. Last night was kind of that way for the Canes to me. Every time it was like, ooh, this is going to be the problem part. No, they scored. Look at that. It's back to a 2-goal lead. This is going to be the scary part. No, Freddie made the save. No, never mind. Ooh, this is interesting. You got the 4-minute. Nope, they killed it. It was just a lot of just the good. So maybe that's it. It's like the upbeat children's movie of games. It was just fun to watch because they had the answers. And they only had the answers because maybe at times in the past they didn't, and they learned from those experiments. Part of the Canes culture. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is a fun one. And 3-1. Obviously, get to go on the road to Washington for the next one. Washington has the tall task now. You've put the pressure on them. You have to match their intensity, all those sorts of things. But finish it out, right? 3-1, it's commanding. You don't want to sweat this one. You don't want to sweat this one. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. And there's some people, if I were a more bitter or more vindictive follower of the Canes, I'd be looking for some apologies. Instead, we'll point out how we don't need apologies. We know everyone's sorry about what they said about the Canes. Stick around.
Golf's second major will be found on 99.9 The Fan. Listen all week long as we cover the PGA Championship from Quail Hollow. Find out if Xander Schauffele can go back-to-back in Charlotte.
Xander Schauffele, the winner of the 106th PGA Championship.
Depend on us for constant leaderboard updates and every big moment through the presentation of the Wanamaker Trophy. Coverage of the PGA Championship on 99.9 The Fan is teed up by Wilson Country Club. Experience the rich history of this must-play course.
It's back. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale at the Carr Scott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards May 16th through the 18th. And it's bringing the largest inventory and deepest discount of the year. Save thousands off top brands. On-site financing to get you approved and on the water. Boats in stock and priced to move now. Test ride your boat at delivery. Get in a new boat or upgrade in time for summer. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale, May 16th through 18th at the Carr Scott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards.
Sound Station and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Sound Station and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Sound Station and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Sound Station and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
Stitches, itches, aches, and pains. Strep and sinus, minor sprains. Pink eye, earaches, fever, flu. Virtual visits, physicals too. At WakeMed MyCare 365, we offer both walk-in primary care and urgent care. So find the MyCare location nearest you at wakemed.org. Walk right in, and for just about anything from asthma, rashes, and examinations to x-rays, labs, and vaccinations, make MyCare your care.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and I am in studio with Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I always tell people, if it's for the exterior of your home, you can find it. Are windows exterior or interior? There's a debate.
We like to think of them on the outside because that's typically why people are calling us, because on the outside of their house, they're seeing rotten trim. Or maybe on the inside, maybe they're seeing the outside from the inside. And that's a problem. If you are seeing the outside from the inside, give the Aluminum Company a call. We can help you. We have vinyl windows. They won't rot. They won't deteriorate. And if you have rotten, deteriorated trim, something like that, we're happy to take care of it at the same time. When we're taking the windows out, we can address all issues with the window at that time.
And how many different styles of window are there?
Thousands for you, Adam.
Thousands.
Hundreds.
Thousands of styles. And you can put a window where there isn't a window.
That's our favorite thing to do.
800-672-4348 or aluminumcompany.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Hall reaches for it. He'll get it to Walker. Walker's got Roslovic with him. Walker holds, shoots, and scores! Sean Walker's first postseason goal, and it is a monster!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Canes have scored 9 goals in the last 2 games against the Caps. Seems like that whole getting shots on goal, trying to keep it and possess it in the offensive zone, Dare I say it's working? Dare I say it's working? Does anyone notice anything different about the coverage or the conversation and the reaction to the Canes winning last night? Last night there was a change. And this I probably against my will, I track this sort of thing just because I'm always looking for trends in media and everything because it's the industry I'm in the same way that I assume somebody that, builds houses notices the structure and the layouts as they're driving around the neighborhood. It changed last night. And I went back and I watched some of the intermission coverage after getting home from the game, and I went back and I paid attention to some of the things written, and I went, wait a minute. Where's all the boring talk? Where's all the Canes system works in the regular season but not the postseason talk? Where's all of the, sure, they're dominating the shots on goal category, but why aren't they scoring? Where's all of that? All of a sudden, the system is worthy of praise? All of a sudden, the system is worth. All of a sudden, the defensive style they play, which is only made possible by the fact that their forwards play two-way hockey, is good. Do you know what that means? And by the way, you can go watch. If you go watch some of the TNT intermission stuff where they're now playing clips and showing how Canes defensemen skate forward. They don't skate backward, and they're not reactive. They're proactive, and they're aggressive, and they try to bring the action to whoever has the puck or brings it to the potential goal scorer. Meanwhile, they trust their teammates to have their back and everything else. Now you want to highlight that. Oh, look at that. The reason why, in my professional guess, is these media personalities are starting to think, oh, the Canes might win. And the thing that you don't want to be, and I'm talking about not just they might win the series. I'm talking about they might win something bigger. They might be in the Stanley Cup final. They might be hoisting the cup. They're having that thought, and all they're thinking is, I need a clip to point to so I can go, oh, here's what they're doing well. I talked about this all the way back during the Cap series. Let's bring up that clip of how they bottled up Alexander Ovechkin. And they're not lying, because halfway through or two-thirds of the way through Game 4, when they took a 3-1 lead, they did technically say it. So they're covering their behind is what they're doing. CYA. And Rod Brindamore, I appreciate him for being so blunt and honest, because he was asked in his media availability about the narrative from the national media that the Canes are just a shot volume team, and somehow that is some kind of a negative. Here's Rod's response.
It's lazy. It's lazy because you're not really watching the game, and you're picking a part of it, but there's a method to all of it, right? And so. Anyway, it doesn't irk me. It's fine. That's what you're trying to do. I mean, put pucks to the net. That's how you score.
I love it.
Yeah, a little side eye smirk, that's how you score.
Yeah.
Duh. Puck's got to go in the net in order for it to go in, right? Okay.
Listen. First of all, everything he said is right, and I love that as you should, right? To the winner goes the spoils, to the winner goes the ability to have some fun at the detractor's expense. And I don't even know if he was having fun as much as he was answering honestly, and realized as he was saying it how kind of simple it sounded, right? Pucks on net is how you score. You just get there.
Yeah, he's heard it. He's been asked about it multiple times.
Of course he has.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you wouldn't, because it's sometimes all everyone wants to talk about.
Sure.
I just think it's funny how the faucet was open, full steam, spewing all kinds of the negatives about it. And then last night, probably about when they went up 2-0, all of a sudden it became, this Canes defense is everywhere. All of a sudden it became, You know, they have the puck in the offensive zone forever, and they're just cycling through. And that Gostisbehere shot, that's just because they're getting pucks on net. And I'm going like, you can't say that. You're pot committed on the other side of this take. But the world seems to be coming around to the Canes. And that's not because they've had some enlightenment. That's not because anything has changed. It's just because they're looking around and they're saying, there's only a couple teams left, and they got a 3-1 lead, and they're a break here or there away from me being the guy that said this won't work, and then it does. You know what else happened? It's the perfect example. It happens every year, all right? I'm a football nerd as well. Happens every single year with like a Lamar Jackson, right? Actually, you could argue, and maybe Hurts just did away with it. But every year, there is the running quarterback can't win a Super Bowl conversation. Running quarterback can't win a Super Bowl. And then maybe a Lamar Jackson or somebody will take over like the 1 seed, and all of a sudden all that you can't win with the running quarterback stuff goes away. Then he loses in the first round, and everybody's right back. Look at this, you can't do it. And I'm no. Your takes, your opinions have to be your opinions because you believe them, not because they're being supported by what's right in front of you. Canes, if they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, which obviously the odds would say they're the favorite, if they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and they go behind 0-2, we're going to hear all the same stuff. If they go to the Eastern Conference Finals, they jump ahead 2-0. You're going to hear about how the system is awesome and how they're going to be mimicked and how other teams are going to be looking for super aggressive defensemen that can skate with all of the effort that is required by Rod Brindamore. And it's reactive analysis is what it is. It's letting the results decide your opinions rather than your intuition or what you actually believe. Right? Wait until a guy makes or misses the shot to decide whether it was a good shot to take. Anyone can do that. Anyone, went in, great shot. No, it's the quality, the process of it all. And if you didn't believe in the Canes process, it feels weird that you would turn around and at least you could say you're wrong. Don't get me wrong. I would give everyone a chance to change it. Hey, I was wrong on this. I didn't think they could. If you said that, I would love it. It's the ones that ignore the last 5 months of them saying it won't work and then go, here's why it works. That's what frustrates me. And it changed yesterday. It changed, which is fun to watch. If I were Rod, I would sit there with a smirk. I'd have some social media intern bring me the best clips so I can sit there and laugh and go, this guy. Do the old Daily Show thing that Jon Stewart used to do where it'd be like, okay, here's someone saying, A is greater than B, and it will always be greater than B. Well, let's cut to him 2.5 weeks ago. B is greater than A, and he is always, and it's like, see what happened there? That's what I would do if I were Rod. I would have some social media intern just go, here's what I need you to do. I need you to find everybody that praised our system last night and go 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago and find those very same people saying that it's never going to win because we're just getting shots on goal and they're empty stats and it doesn't work in the postseason. That's what I would do.
Yeah, go 2 days ago when they said those things. Oh, now that system's boring. Okay, they play boring hockey. Oh, is it just boring because they're dominating one team? Is that what makes it boring?
Is it boring because you don't quite understand what you're looking at? Is it boring because you're looking at the wrong places? Is it boring because you are a squirrel and you just need goals? Goals. I need 7-6, please. 7-6. I just need goals. Can't appreciate any other part of the game? That's up to you. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Not only did the Canes win to make a 3-1 series lead over the Caps, there was also an NBA draft lottery last night, and I can tell you this, unless you are from Dallas, you're probably not happy. We're going to talk about it coming up after the Dean's List. Don't go anywhere.
Is your whole home operating at peak performance? With Newcomb & Company, your independent Trane dealer, proudly serving our community for over 70 years. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs, including repairs and replacements for faucets, toilets, piping, garbage disposals, water heaters, drain cleaning, and more. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
The Carolina RV Super Show is coming to you. Join us at any Camping World in North Carolina or South Carolina, May 15th through the 18th, to shop ridiculous discounts on the best selection of new and used RVs in the Carolinas. Tour new 2025 RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Enter to win a new RV and enjoy family fun and on-site activities. Don't miss the Carolina RV Super Show at your local Camping World, May 15th through the 18th. Get all the details at campingworld.com/Carolina RV Super Show.
Are your monthly bills keeping you up at night? Worried about your finances in these crazy times? Hey, it's Dennis Cox for Loan Pronto. If you're like most people, you have racked up a sizable amount on your credit cards, and the monthly payment is not making a dent in it. It's time to call Loan Pronto. If you own a home, you have a super easy way to get tens or even hundreds of thousands in cash. Loan Pronto has lots of options for helping you tap into the equity in your home and get the cash you need to get back on solid footing. Most homeowners who do this end up wiping out all their credit card debt and cutting their monthly expenses by $1,000. Look, you didn't mean to end up here, but you don't have to keep stressing about money. Call Loan Pronto for fast debt relief now. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Again, the website, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Will you make the right call? Time's running out, pressure's on, and you need your roof replaced. Hi, I'm Holly from RoofWorks. It's 4th and goal, and the decision's in your hands. The competition can't stop you. You're about to score the game winner. We've trained for years for this moment to raise the roof for you. So avoid the noise and put us in the game. Call RoofWorks today or visit us online at roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. With instant wins, progressive jackpots, and bonus games right from your phone. It's nonstop chances to win like you've never seen or heard before. Oh, yeah! Big money! Visit nclottery.com to get in on the action. Must be 18 to play. See prize and odds charts at nclottery.com/digital-instants for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It's bow time. Yep, it's eating time again. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. But if you're tired of cooking, or tired of sorta cooking, it's time to feed the whole family with Bojangles Fried Chicken Family Meal. With Bojangles' famous chicken, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can forget the cookbook and spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner from Bojangles. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing for some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. Satisfy your craving for flavor and your passion for boneless chicken with Bojangles 4-piece Supremes Dinner. 4 perfectly seasoned, Cajun-fried, whole breast tenderloin fillets. Choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and Bojangles' legendary iced tea. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Now Hall all alone, in on Thompson. Hall scores! What a play! What a transition pass! And Taylor Hall puts Carolina back up by 2. It's 3-1.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That was Taylor Hall scoring last night. With by the way, with Jordan Stahl's assist on the empty netter to Svetch, everyone other than Carrier has a point this postseason for the Canes.
Yep. Everyone that suited up and played, other than goalies.
Yes, true.
It'd be awesome if they both had points. Wouldn't that be something?
Piotr's, if anyone's going to do it, Piotr's going to have 3 goals, 2 assists.
Right.
Like he's not playing around. Freddie just 1 goal. We're talking scored, by the way. Here's the there's a lot of weird statistical things happening. Last night, every forward that skated for the Canes had +1 on their plus-minus.
Yeah.
Nobody had +2. Nobody had neutral on the ice. Everybody had exactly +1, and they won by 3. If that's not the perfect definition of like everybody do your part, right? Everybody do your job. Everybody win your matchup just by a little bit, and the team will win by a bunch. It's exactly what happened. Every single forward on the team +1 when they were on the ice. The team wins by 3. It's fantastic. There's a ton of weird little things like that going on, but it's playoff hockey. That probably just means we all have too much time scrutinizing the stats on these games.
Also, think about this series in 4 games. Canes have scored 12 goals, 10 different goal scorers.
10 different goal scorers. The multiple scores being Svetch and Ghost.
Yep.
And then darn near everybody else a single goal scorer. And not Aho. How about that?
Yeah, and Jarvis just got his first.
12 goals, 10 goal scorers, and your second leading goal scorer, right? Because Jarvis ended this season first.
Mm-hmm.
Your second leading goal scorer not amongst them. That's kind of crazy. Again, weird stats. The only one that matters is they're up 3-1. But the weird stats are definitely out there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. With that being said, let's put the Dean's List in session. Dean's List, where we highlight those in the college sports world that deserve a little extra praise, deserve maybe a few extra accolades. I'll get it started with 2 guys, perhaps moving in, actually 3. I'll go 3 guys, perhaps moving in wildly different directions, but all related. I'm going with Isaiah Evans, Cedric Coward, and Cooper Flagg. Okay, they all linked to Duke in some way, right? Isaiah Evans played at Duke last year and is coming back to Duke. Cooper Flagg played at Duke last year and is going pro. Cedric Coward played for, 6 games or something, 2 games at Washington State. Played well last year and has committed to Duke if he plays college basketball. But he is taking part of the NBA draft process and is at the NBA Combine. The Combine is going on right now, by the way. NBA Combine. Not as flashy as the NFL Combine. Isaiah Evans pulled his name out of the draft, went back to Duke prior to the Combine getting started, even though he was invited. He's learned what he wanted to learn. He wants to stay at Duke. Cedric Coward at the Combine. Cooper Flagg at the Combine. Coward, there's a picture circulating right now of the scoreboard of him leading them in something that they call the 3-point star drill. He made 68% of his shots on a drill where you run around a bunch of different places and you got to knock down threes. At 6'6", if you're the leader in a 3-point shooting drill at the NBA Combine, could be making yourself a lot of money and could be making Duke an empty roster spot. And then Cooper Flagg is there. Cooper Flagg not trying to play his way into making the NBA. He's the presumed number 1 overall pick. The lottery was last night. He obviously, Dallas won the lottery, and it's like, hey, they win Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg, you go watch the videos. He's like grinding at the Combine. He's running the box shuttles. He's doing the vert. He's doing everything. Compare and contrast that to what we saw at the NFL draft when nobody presumed to be a number 1 or even first-round pick was out there, like, grinding, right?
There are third-round picks that didn't do anything.
You can catch my speed on tape. I don't need to run the shuttle drill. Cooper Flagg is as locked in a number 1 overall pick as I can remember, and he's out there grinding at the Combine. So my point is this. The reason why all 3 of them, right, Isaiah Evans going back, didn't even go to the Combine. Cedric Coward at the Combine might be playing his way out of playing at Duke because he could shoot his way at the Combine into being a first-round pick. And Cooper Flagg doing the drills even though he doesn't have to. I'm in favor of doing what you think is right for your career, right? I'm in favor of showing what kind of a competitor you are with your actions, right? If Isaiah Evans has unfinished business at Duke, go back. If Cooper Flagg's a gamer and he just can't possibly see himself standing on the side at something like an NBA Combine watching other guys work, get out there and sweat. If Cedric Coward had a bunch of people saying he should go back to college, he thinks he's ready for the NBA, go prove it at the NBA Combine. I like letting guys make decisions for themselves. Now, I might think, what's best for them is different than what they're doing, right? I might, like, an agent might tell Cooper Flagg, what are you doing running shuttles? An agent might tell Coward, go to Duke right now. You could be a lottery pick next year, whatever it is. But in the end, they're the ones that have to live with their decision. So I like that they're in different ways using this time of year to chase their dreams. Next Dean's List. This is a follow-up just because I promised it on Friday and we didn't get to the Dean's List yesterday with all the preview stuff. NC State baseball makes the Dean's List. So what was it? Thursday, UNC beat NC State in baseball. So we put UNC on. This is their season-ending regular season series. It's supposed to be a 3-game series. UNC won, so we threw UNC on the Dean's List. And I said, and probably whoever ends up, being the star or winning the next couple of games, they'll be on the Dean's List next week. Well, Friday, NC State won. Tied up the series, 1-1 with an 8-5 win. Then they had off Saturday. The Sunday game canceled due to weather. So the series ended 1-1. Josh Hogue would have been the star for State in that second game, the Friday game. He went 3 for 4 with a walk and 2 RBI. It's a good day. It's a good day. So State, you make it. The rubber match was canceled, right? So we don't know who won the series. Maybe they'll get paired up in the ACC tournament.
Do we go soccer, aggregate scoring?
Oh, just run differential? In that case, it's UNC. Because UNC got them pretty good on that Thursday game, I'm pretty sure. Do you have a Dean's List that you'd like to throw on the list, Dennis?
I don't have a Dean's List for today.
There isn't a ton going on in college sports. But I do want to give, again, similarly over the weekend, Duke baseball also makes it.
Okay.
They took 2 or 3 from the 9th-ranked Clemson Tigers on the road.
Nice.
In South Carolina. Hyde. So they went 1-1 to start the 3-game series, and then it came down to the rubber match. Hyde went 2 for 4 with 4 RBI and 2 runs scored in an 8-4 win for Duke. So 4 RBI and 2 runs scored. Of the 8 runs Duke scored, he was part of 6 of them. And it was an 8-4 win. So there you go. Duke baseball, you take 2 or 3 from the 9th-ranked Clemson Tigers, bring those wins back here to the Triangle, you make the Dean's List. Class dismissed. Dean's List's always fun. Winning's always fun. Watching the Canes win, always fun. Last night, Canes get a 5-2 win, including an empty netter, against the Washington Capitals. It gives them a commanding 3-1 lead in the series. For more details on how it broke down, here's our very own Adam Gold with 2 Minutes of Gold.
I've got 2 minutes for 2 big Hurricane goals that answered 2 big Washington goals as Carolina has a 2-game lead and 1 game away from the 3rd round of the playoffs. And it is all brought to us by Parkway Sleep Health Centers for better sleep. Hurricanes took a 2-0 lead into the 3rd period, much like they did in Game 3, only this time Washington got the next goal. That made it 2-1. But not too long after that, one of the new guys, Taylor Hall, answered.
Now Hall all alone in on Thompson. Hall scores! What a play! What a transition pass! And Taylor Hall puts Carolina back up by 2. It's 3-1.
But then Alexander Ovechkin scored a 5-on-3 power play goal to make it 3-2. No worries. Sean Walker draws a paycheck for the Hurricanes.
Hall reaches for it. He'll get it to Walker. Walker's got Roslovic with him. Walker holds, shoots, and scores! Sean Walker's first postseason goal, and it is a monster. Carolina goes up 4-2 with 3:15 left here in the 3rd.
4-2, lights out, we're done. See you in D.C. on Thursday. Andrei Svechnikov, the empty net wizard, Harry Pottered his way to a 5-2 win. He now has 7 goals. He was excellent, but we can be honest here. Sean Walker, first star of the game. Taylor Hall was actually the first star in the arena. Hey, not throwing any shade there. I thought number 26 was Carolina's best player, right behind him, or maybe alongside of him, and he was in the 3rd period. Jacob Slavin, another masterclass from number 74. Frederik Andersen continues to do what he's doing, and the Hurricanes are 1 win away from the conference finals for the 3rd time in 7 years. Pretty good. ParkwaySleep.com. Start your journey to a healthier night's sleep. Parkway Sleep Health Center. Sound sleep, sound health. Sound off for 1 more win for the 3rd round.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That would be Adam Gold with 2 minutes of gold. It is true there, right at the end. Third time in 7 years making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're 1 win away. The Canes are squarely in the same location as teams such as I would throw like the Bills, right? Where it's just, gosh, there's not much you haven't done other than win the championship or make it to the Stanley Cup final or to the Super Bowl, where people won't go, yeah, you already did this a few times. It's like, yeah, you know, you got to put one foot in front of the other and you have to accomplish all of this. But it does show just how good they've been for the last 7 years that, you know, even making it to the Eastern Conference Finals, there's going to be fans out there going, all right, you've been here a couple times before. Let's see what you do this time, which is wildly, you could argue, unfair because, you know, most teams you make it to an Eastern Conference Finals, your fans are nothing but like losing their mind, running around. They want to watch it with their kids and grandkids for the memories, and Canes fans are like, all right, we've got the memories of watching the Eastern Conference Finals. I watched it with them when they were 6. Now I want to watch the Stanley Cup Finals with the kid when they're 9. Like it's very much that way.
You know, the team they're playing, the Washington Capitals, have been to the Eastern Conference Finals 3 times in their 50 years. Just throwing that out there.
Do we want
to remind people? And the Canes also have a cup.
Actually, I'm going to pile on DC a little bit, but first let's let's give some tickets away. So let's get the good vibes out there, so then we can be mean and it doesn't seem as bad because we're like, we may have just won you tickets. Get the Lead Out returns to DPAC this Saturday, May 17th. Text keyword LED, LED. I know I didn't have to spell it that, you know, we knew, but the keyword is LED, LED, to 919-860-5326 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the show. Get the Let Out, DPAC, Saturday, May 17th. That's this Saturday. Keyword LED, LED, to 919-860-5326. Text it in for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the show. All right, are we ready to pile on, DC?
Of course.
So, yesterday, there was a little Twitter debate amongst Washington, D.C. sports fans. Some media personalities from up that way got into it. The question was, what would you rather see? The Wizards win the NBA draft lottery, or the Caps beat the Canes to even up their second-round Stanley Cup playoff series? What would you rather see? And the debate was, obviously Cooper Flag, and it could be good for years, versus even if the Caps win, doesn't open their window even further. But also they've had number 1 picks, John Wall in the past, and didn't really make it as close as the Caps would be to a championship if the Caps win this series. So they went back and forth. There's a whole thing. But the part that is funny to watch from a distance is it did, I think, brainwash them or trick, like optical illusion their brain into thinking that they were definitely going to get one of them. Right? Because the debate was either or. It made it seem like, all right, we're going to get one. Which do you want? Do you know how yesterday went for DC? They lost 5-2 to the Canes. Their best odds in the league, right? Tied. They were one of the 3 worst teams. They were tied for the best odds in the league to get the number 1 overall pick. They had an over 50% chance of getting a top 4 pick. They finished with the 6th pick. So they moved back in a big way to the 6th pick. Basically, they went from in the realm of drafting one Duke player to the realm of drafting another.
Yeah,
we were aiming for Cooper Flag. We might end up with Malawash or Knipple. It's 6 picks is a big fall. And then there was this other slap in the face they didn't even see coming. The Nationals got walked off by the Braves in the middle of it. Just like,
why not?
Yeah, I mean, hey, bad things happen in threes. Let's get them out of the way. So DC had a rough day.
Good, they deserve it.
The only solace might be that when it comes to the NBA lottery, darn near every other bad team shares in your misery.
Oh, come on now.
The Charlotte Hornets
fell to, what was it, 5th?
4th.
4th. The Hornets fell to 4th. It's not great. Utah fell to 5th. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Utah fell to 5th. Those were the 3 teams with the best odds at the number 1 pick.
Yeah, they go 4, 5, 6.
4, 5, and 6. They were the 3 worst teams in the NBA. The number 1 pick, a.k.a. Cooper Flag, goes to the Dallas Mavericks, who had a 1.8% chance, according to the lottery, of getting the number 1 overall pick. All three of the teams we mentioned, the Hornets, Utah, and DC and the Wizards, had a 14% chance each. 1.8 goes to Dallas, and of course it's rigged conversation started, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so I get what happened. The NBA told them to trade Luka to LA, so after LeBron leaves, the Lakers still have a marketable star in Hollywood, and in return, they got a wink, wink, nod, nod that they're going to get the number 1 overall pick, and they'll get to replace Luka with Cooper. Oh, look at this. And it's not even funny. I think it's good jokes, right? I think it's good jokes. I think it's a funny thing to do. Very quickly, I started seeing, people believe this. I just want you to be clear on what you're doing here. If you think it's rigged, you are accusing dozens, if not hundreds, of people of outright fraud.
Hey, you know what? Wouldn't be the first time.
That an entire league committed fraud?
Yeah.
Might be the first time. I can't think of any examples of
Everyone's going to go back to the Patrick Ewing 1985 New York Knicks, the frozen envelope.
I would be. That's the wives' tale. That's the what am I thinking of? Urban legend. Could also just be lucky, right? Because there's a lot of years where the first overall pick goes to a team that doesn't make any sense, right? We can point to Chicago, Derrick Rose, he was a hometown guy. It makes sense. LeBron, he was a hometown guy. It makes sense. There's also a lot where it's just I don't know, went to New Orleans. There's a lot of those also. We just remember the obvious ones. So my point is, I don't think it was rigged. I do think amazingly bad system they've set up for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They've missed the point of the draft. Because the other thing is the complaints from fans of all these teams, Hornets amongst them, showed me that nobody understands the lottery. I saw a fan, right, and it came up on my social media feed. It said, I'm starting to think even if the Hornets went 0 for 82, didn't win a game, they still wouldn't get the number 1 overall pick. And I'm like, oh, you don't get it. You could go 0 for 82. You would still have an 86% chance of not getting the number 1 overall pick. That's the way the settings are. You could have lost every game. You wouldn't have had a better chance at the number 1 overall pick than you had this year. The NBA had a tanking problem, and they changed the lottery in 2019 to this system where the worst 3 teams have the same, and you can fall way back. And basically what they did is they had a problem, and they fixed it with way too much overcorrection. They had a leaky faucet, so they fixed it with a wrecking ball and took the whole house down to the studs. You overdid it. Now, the entire point of the draft is completely missed. Do you know what's the point of a draft order? So the bad teams can make up ground and create parity in a league where parity is paramount, right? You need every fan base to think every offseason they have a chance. So you take the worst teams, you give them the best new players, and they have hope. Since the NBA changed its lottery system in 2019, the team with the league's worst record has never gotten the first overall pick. Not once. This is the 3rd straight year where the league's worst record will pick 5th. They're not even getting top 4 picks. They won't get better if you don't give them better players. Do you know what is really messed up about this whole situation? I don't care about the Luka trade. I don't care if you think Nico Harrison, their GM, is good, bad, or indifferent. I don't care if you're like, hey, everybody's really disrespecting Anthony Davis and all. He's pretty good, and he's still on the Mavericks. I don't care. What I care is a team that was in the play-in games just got the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
They played postseason basketball. Didn't play playoff basketball, but played postseason basketball and are being rewarded with the number 1 overall pick. That's not the way drafts are supposed to work. Imagine if the first team out of the NFL playoffs, first team out, was in it until week 18 and came up a touchdown short, ended up with the number 1 overall pick, and you just gave them like Travis Hunter. Just, there you go. That'd be awful. Meanwhile, the Titans would be sitting there like, how do you expect us to get better? We can't even – you're giving the good guys to the good teams, and we're sitting here as a bad team needing help. That's what's happening in the NBA.
I know in the NHL with their draft lottery, if let's say you're like, for example, where the Dallas Mavericks were, basically that 16th team that has the odds to win it, you can only move up so far. Like you can't even get the number 1 pick. You can move up like 11 spots or whatever that is. And same thing, like you can only fall so far. The biggest thing I think a lot of people have issue with is that we actually don't see the process actually take place. At least in the NHL draft, you see the ping pong balls pulled. You actually see it take place live. So we can actually see it. I think that's the big issue that a lot of people have with the NBA. They don't actually show it.
It's really convoluted. I think they pull 4 ping pong balls.
That's what the NHL does.
And it's like weird. You get like a full binder of like, hey, Charlotte Hornets, you are numbers 1974 to 6059, and it's very weird. I did see a few writers to McMenamin. There was at least one other I saw on Twitter who at different points, they invite a couple of reporters each year, I guess, in to watch the lottery process as kind of the checks and balances. And they said, like, I was in there in 2017 or whatever year they were in there. It's completely legit, and it is complicated, and it is not rigged, and all these things. Listen, I don't think it's rigged because it would be the dumbest gamble in the history of the world. If it ends up being true, you ruin your league completely, and all those billions of dollars are just tanked. Because fairness is part of what's necessary, and equality and all that is what's necessary for a league. But it is fair to like their lottery system is dumb. It's just set up poorly. And by the way, it hasn't stopped tanking either.
No.
Teams are now tanking just to go from 11.6 to 15 or 14% chance at the number 1 overall pick, and then they're getting messed over, and they're going to do it again this year. Like, there's no world where the Wizards are great next year. So they're going to keep tanking until they get their Cooper flag. Now, the Hornets have done it a few times, and they have a couple top 5 picks already on the roster. So if they develop, maybe they level up. But Utah ain't going anywhere. Now you have fan bases that are bad. Teams are bad for a half decade, rather than giving them a number 1 overall pick 1 year after tanking. So it's just they solved the problem while creating more problems. Bad. And it opens you to a whole bunch of it's rigged conversations, which I don't think they're true, but they're not good for the league when everybody's accusing you of colluding against certain teams. It's not good at all. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. By the way, Hornets 4th overall?
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of VJ Edgecombe.
Yeah, who we saw here playing Raleigh for Baylor.
Yeah. The thing that jumped out to me seeing him in person, just to give you like a rudimentary scouting report, springy.
Yeah.
Dude is a athlete.
Yeah, you said what jumped out about him? That if you can jump out of the building.
Jumped out about him? Jumping.
Yeah.
Good player, exceptional defensive instincts, but like one of those guys where it's like, oh, well, it's easier when you can jump higher than everybody. Oh, real difficult. You can score at Baylor when your vertical jump is 10 inches higher than everybody else's. It was one of those. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, which means he could catch a bunch of alley-oops from like LaMelo Ball. I don't know, just throwing that out there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, all under their realms of expertise at Maynard Service Company. Right now, I'm going to focus in on cooling maintenance. We're hitting that time of year. There are certain things you should just put on your calendar, recurring, right? I like to schedule emails to send to myself. But what one of them is, right about this time, you should be calling Maynard Service Company, meaning this time of year. You should be calling Maynard Service Company to come out and check out your cooling system. Make sure it's working right. Make sure everything's running smoothly. It's clean. It's taken care of. There's no, pebbles in the shoe, metaphorically, of your HVAC, your AC, your cooling system, in order to, and by them checking it out, they'll make sure that it's ready for the hot summer months to come, in which you're probably going to be running it a bit more than usual. So give them a call, 919-361-0993. That is the same number, by the way, to bookmark if you have a leak, or if your electric in your house starts fumbling, or there's anything going on in your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric systems of any kind. 919-361-0993. 24/7 service all across the triangle, 919-361-0993, or you can visit them online as well, MaynorServices.com. That's MAYNOR services.com. Coming up next, we have football at 4. Is there legitimately a chance that Bill Belichick is not coaching UNC when they take the field week 1? And audio from his conversation with our colleagues at WRAL. Stick around.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and do you have a late-night craving for in-depth analysis on the Carolina Hurricanes and their latest game, their latest win, their pursuit of the Stanley Cup? Well, I can quench your thirst. I can feed that appetite on the Canes Corner podcast, the morning after edition, which drops the morning after every Hurricanes game. Get it wherever you get your podcast. Brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
When it comes to restoring cars, Diego's got skills. And with Total Wireless in his corner, the whole world sees them. With the dual camera system on his new iPhone 13, he can take amazing car photos and post them on the fly with super fast 5G, and even turn this hobby into a full-time gig. His claim to fame? Claiming iPhone 13 with 5G on us. Get iPhone 13 with 5G on us when you switch to the Total 5G or 5G Plus Unlimited 3-month plan. Total Wireless, in your corner. For limited time while supplies last. Valid in store. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires port in and ID verification. Restrictions apply.
First Horizon Stadium in Cary is the place to be galactic. The North Carolina Courage, the Triangle's premier professional women's soccer team, invites you to Star Wars Night, May 17th at 5 p.m. Grab Star Wars Night tickets at tickets.nccourage.com. May the courage be with you.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. T&Cs apply.
Make your next tailgate more electric when you plug into a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Not only do they light up the scoreboard with outstanding payload and towing numbers, with available Pro Power on board, you can turn these Ford trucks into mobile generators to give your tailgate party an extra boost of energy. Visit your Carolina Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com for great offers and to learn more about F-150 and Super Duty. See Owner's Manual for important operating instructions.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. More scattered showers and thunderstorms for the rest of the afternoon as well as tonight and tomorrow. We have a level 1 risk for severe storms. Today is a WRAL weather alert day, and we also still have the potential for some isolated flooding. 63 tonight, 80 degrees for tomorrow, again with a chance of storms continuing.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell down 269 points to 42,140. Market update brought to you by the Body Armor State Games. The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So there's a lot of conversation going on around Bill Belichick, isn't there? His relationship, his football program, his changes in maybe tactics with the media since leaving the New England Patriots and becoming the head coach of the UNC football team. I'm gonna potentially, I guess, set myself up to be one of those clips that you play back and you go, see how wrong this guy was. I don't think there's a real possibility Bill Belichick is not coaching week 1 of this upcoming season. Even though Pablo Torre, who and his podcast, Pablo Torre Finds Out, have been at the center of all of this because he's been sourcing and making some reports about Bill Belichick and his relationship to Jordan Hudson and Hudson's relationship with the football program. Pablo Torre has made it very clear that he thinks there's a real possibility that that Bill Belichick will not be coaching week 1. I would be wildly surprised if he's not coaching week 1. Now, I know what the counter to that is. How many wildly surprising things around Bill Belichick need to happen before you stop being wildly surprised? Because you would have been surprised if so much of this happened. True. But I also think, and as much as this is unusual, I still think Bill Belichick is a football psycho. Regardless of how much he may have changed in his personal life or how much he's changed in his, I still think he is a guy who just recognizes that he is happier when he has a football team to coach. Now, the contract did set them up for this speculation because the buyout drops from $10 million, so Belichick would have to pay $10 million to leave and do something else or not coach the Tar Heels, down to $1 million on June 1st, right? So in a little over half a month, it'll drop, which is weird to do that before your first season, but I just don't think he's going to take advantage of it. And there was an interview conducted today that can be found, Dennis, make sure I get all this information correct, at WRAL.com.
Yep.
It was conducted by WRAL.com and WRAL TV. Our colleague, Brian Murphy, who is a friend of the show, WRAL sports investigative reporter, was able to sit down and have a conversation with Bill Belichick at the ACC meetings that are going on currently at Amelia Island in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The reason why I bring it up is because obviously working for the him being one of our colleagues, we got the video, got to watch it, and something stood out to me. And I'm going to play a few clips for you here, but if you want to catch the entirety of the conversation, WRAL.com is where the entirety of the video lives.
By the way, Murphy says at the beginning of the video, you were told, can't talk about Jordan Hudson.
Yep.
Like, cannot be asked, do not mention anything about her, no questions regarding it.
And that's going to play into what I noticed here. So he was asked if he was surprised by the attention UNC is getting, and including in that being chosen and given the opportunity to go to Ireland to start the 2026 season. Here's Belichick's answer.
Well, that's a long way off. We got a full season ahead of us before that. But, yeah, that'll be exciting. But, no, the support's been amazing. The alumni, Carolina fans, and great response from, the players, the people there that are on the football staff and on the team. How hard they worked and their commitment to doing the best they can and try to put a good team together.
That's a very Bill Belichick answer. That's old school Bill Belichick. Well, let's continue with more of the conversation between Brian Murphy of WRAL and Bill Belichick. Something like, let's start with turning over the roster, right? A lot of transfers and getting everyone on the same page in just a couple of weeks of training camp coming up. Here's Belichick's response.
Not dissimilar to the model that we've had in the NFL, where you, after the draft and free agency signing and all that, you bring in about a third of your team is brand new, and so we'll be somewhere in that range when we start fall camp. But we'll have a couple months with them here in the summer, and we've had a good spring with a lot of these guys as well. So it is what it is. I mean, all schools are have a similar situation, maybe not quite the same numbers, but some degree of freshmen coming in, transfer portals, some more than others, but we'll take it as it comes, and excited to have the players that we have and work with them.
That's another Bill Belichick answer, isn't it? Now, I can tell you, and you should go check it out, WRAL.com, check out the video. Bill was looking comfortable, a little button-up action, the lighting, they're down in Florida, they're vibing. But if you told me he was wearing a Patriots cut-off hoodie making these answers, I would have believed you. We'll play one more for you before I get to my overall reaction. he was asked by Brian Murphy, WRAL sports investigative reporter, about the Gio Lopez addition, the quarterback coming out of the transfer portal, and the competition that may be having at that position. And Belichick, in full Belichick fashion, talked about competition at all positions.
Well, the competition's always in the hands of the players. I can't control performance, so we'll give everybody an opportunity, let the players compete, and we'll see how it all turns out. But, we're excited to have the competition, not only at quarterback, but really at most every position on the field. And again, it'll be up to the players to perform and earn those spots. Everything will be earned, and we're not handing anything out. It'll be competitive, and the guys will get what they earn. And they're all competed hard. They're working hard, and so look forward to seeing what that brings.
Another Belichick answer. Belichickian, whatever you want to call it. And by the way, thank you to Brian Murphy and WRAL, WRAL.com, if you want to watch the entirety of the conversation. Here's my take. That caveat, that qualifier that Brian said at the beginning of the video, right? The prior arrangement, whatever you want to call it, the stipulations were that we not bring up Jordan Hudson in this conversation. If you're not allowed to talk about Jordan Hudson, if she's not part of the story, Belichick sounds like Belichick. If you're not allowed to bring up, or you have to avoid the romantic relationship he has made public with Jordan Hudson, Belichick sounds like the guy that we all thought UNC hired. That's, to me, fantastic news for UNC. It's kind of, and I don't even know if this is the exact way to go with it, but I feel like it's a very young adult thing, like early 20s, maybe even college, where you have a buddy that gets in a relationship, right? Starts dating a girl, and he just stinks when she's around, and then when she's not, look at that, you're back to being our buddy, right? His name's probably like if it's Michael Jones, you call him Jonesy, but when she's around, oh, hi, Michael. No, we call him Jonesy. What are you doing? She's like, Michael, can you help me? Michael, right? Michael's not fun. Jonesy is the man, right? It's kind of like,
brother, this guy stinks.
And by the way, I don't even want to say he stinks. I just want to say he's different, right? That's not the guy we know. That's some other guy that lives in your world, and that's great. But the guy we know is different. Belichick, look, you're not allowed to talk about Jordan Hudson. He's talking about, well, it's not just competition at quarterback. It's competition at all positions, and we're just going to try to get better, and we're excited to work, and we're going to get better each day. And it's like, oh, there's our guy. There's Jonesy. There's Billy B. There's Billy B. If you're allowed to talk about Jordan Hudson, suddenly he's being interrupted, and they're cutting off questions, and there's not allowed to do this, and it's like, wait a minute, that's not the guy we know. We know the football cyborg that only talks about getting better and only talks about improving the roster and competition and all these things that we love about sports. That might have been the key. And I know that UNC came out and said, they have not banned Jordan Hudson from any part of the facility. And while she doesn't work for the university, she's welcome in the facility. After seeing that interview, I kind of get it. If somebody that had a professional interest in UNC having a great football team this year, and this is just me talking now, if somebody that had a professional interest in UNC having a great football team this year saw the way Bill Belichick handled an interview with CBS Sunday Morning when Jordan Hudson was a part of it, and then seeing the way he handled the interview with Brian Murphy, I'd go, I want the guy that talked to Brian Murphy. That's what I want. So if all it takes is kind of maybe a little separation, not like, I'm not talking about in their relationship, I'm just saying, hey, when you're doing football, maybe she's not around, I would try to make it happen. Because I want the football cyborg that we know from 20-some-odd years with the Patriots. That's the dude that I would be wildly excited about to lead my group of young Tar Heels. One more time, WRAL.com for the full conversation between WRAL investigative reporter Brian Murphy and Bill Belichick, which took place at the ACC meetings in Amelia Island earlier today. That is the place to find it, WRAL.com. We'll take a break, but before we do, and we do have a cup check-in coming up with a familiar voice for many of you. Before we get to that, though, Dennis Cox has something for you.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. You know, all this bad weather kind of stinks if you're a motorcycle rider. This is always something you got to worry about when you're out there on the roads. What are the road conditions going to look like? For example, an area in Raleigh where I live, there's been a lot of road work going on. If I take my motorcycle out, I kind of have to detour around it because last thing I want is a nail in the tire while I'm riding on my motorcycle. It's hard enough as it is when you're riding your car, you get a nail stuck in your tire. All of a sudden you get to work, things are flat, you got to change the tire, whatever it might be, but that's a bigger risk when I'm on a motorcycle. So knowing those types of things in your environment are crucial when you get on the bike. But if you are injured in a motorcycle accident, this is where Law Tigers comes in. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, even before you contact your insurance companies. Because we all know insurance companies, they want to give you the least amount possible. Law Tigers, they're riders too. They know what your bike is worth. They know what your gear is worth. They know what you're going through after an accident. That's why your case evaluation with Law Tigers is always free, and they don't get paid until your case settles. Even if you've been in an accident, let's say back in the fall, insurance companies and everything aren't going your way, well, guess what? Get in touch with Law Tigers. You can visit lawtigers.com or, again, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS and see if they can help you out. Again, case evaluation is always free. They don't get paid until your case settles. So call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle injury lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, has a cup check-in with Adam Gold, presented by Carolina Ale House coming up, and 3 pieces of news that I learned in the last 5 minutes that are wildly unrelated, but I think pretty fascinating. We'll give you those facts and a cup check-in coming up next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
A record in sports that would be a big deal if it was broken and we'd all be in on it is 100 points in a game in the NBA.
Oh, yeah, big time.
If I told you within the next 20 years in the NBA, somebody would score 101 points in one game.
I could see it. Couldn't you see a team just waving the white flag and another team taking advantage of that?
Unsportsmanlike.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's back. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale at the Carr Scott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards May 16th through the 18th. And it's bringing the largest inventory and deepest discount of the year. Save thousands off top brands. On-site financing to get you approved and on the water. Boats in stock and priced to move now. Test ride your boat at delivery. Get in a new boat or upgrade in time for summer. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale, May 16th through 18th at the Carr Scott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards.
Are your monthly bills keeping you up at night, wondering how you got so behind? Hey, I'm Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. I get it. Life is expensive now. Insurance, groceries, cars. And then there's the credit card debt with those obscene interest rates. It's time to regain your financial freedom. And that's what we offer at Loan Pronto, using the power of the equity in your home. We have multiple ways to get you the cash you need, and most clients close in 2 weeks or less, and many don't even require an appraisal. And listen, rates have been plummeting recently. We just locked a homeowner in with an APR in the low 5s, saving her over $1,000 per month, and put $10,000 in her pocket. Life-changing money. Whether you're drowning in debt, have a nosebleed rate you got last year, need home improvements, or simply need cash in your pocket, we can help you accomplish this goal in record time. Call us today and get started with no hard credit pull, just a conversation. LoanPronto.com, 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. That's LoanPronto.com.
Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s. And less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 Gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com. Now Jarvis, he'll drop this one. Off the catching up rebound. He scores! Seth Jarvis on the doorstep, pounds it home, and it's 2-0 Carolina.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We will have a cup check-in with Adam Gold, presented by Carolina Ale House, coming your way in just a few minutes. But first, 3 pieces of news that I learned within 5 minutes of each other, probably within 10 minutes into the rearview mirror right now. In no particular order, and they are not related at all. The number 1 overall recruit in high school football, entering college football, college prospect, an offensive tackle by the name of Jackson Cantwell, has committed to the ACC.
Let's go.
Specifically the Miami Hurricanes.
Oh, I don't care now.
Number 1 overall. You know what that means? Take everything you learn from recruits with a grain of salt. Because the first time I learned about Jackson Cantwell, right, because I do follow a little bit of recruiting, Faison Brandon, who was a North Carolina player, a quarterback from the Greensboro area, I believe.
Grimsley High School.
Is the number 5 overall recruit in this same recruiting class. So we follow a little bit of it. But the reason I learned about Jackson Cantwell is because the number 1 quarterback in the class is a player by the name of Jared Curtis. And Curtis committed to Georgia recently. And Cantwell's been doing a bunch of posting about him and Jared Curtis. You know, JCNJC, Jackson Cantwell and Jared Curtis, JCNJC. Everybody thought that meant he was going to Georgia. So, of course, he commits to Miami. Just, hard to know which one's going where until they actually put pen to paper. He is, however, Jackson Cantwell, 6'7.5", 325 pounds as a high schooler. Number 1 overall recruit numbers. Secondly, Pete Rose and Joe Jackson have been removed from MLB's banned list, presumably opening it up for them to go into the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose and Joe Jackson removed from the bans list, although the rule is less pertaining to them and more pertaining to the situation. Rob Manfred, MLB commissioner, along with, I assume, advisors and committee members and everything, have decided that the never-ending bans that were under effect end at your death. So basically, you can't be a threat to the integrity of the game when you're not alive is kind of their justification. So once you pass away, if you're Hall of Fame worthy, your ban ends and you could be eligible to go in, which is kind of, maybe that's a little bit cruel. I don't even know. Soon as you can enjoy it, you can go into the Hall of Fame is kind of or maybe it's comforting, right? On their deathbeds, they can say, well, starting tomorrow, start building my Hall of Fame case. I don't know. It's just interesting. It's interesting. There was a book report maybe in middle school that I did on Joe Jackson. I draw serious questions on whether he was a part of the Black Sox that actually threw the series.
In 1919?
Yeah. I believe he took money to throw it and then didn't. And figured like the other guys will, make sure I don't get my thumbs broken for not throwing it. He batted over 400 in the series. Guy was an absolute legend.
Hit the only home run in that series.
It's a whole thing. Again, there's a book report from about maybe 2002. Bibliography sourced and everything, all about Joe Jackson. I don't think he did it. That was basically my report. I don't know what I got in the grade. should have just been told. I don't think he did it. Cold case. And then last bit of information that I learned recently within the last 10 minutes. Morris, a.k.a. the Colorado-based alligator that was a co-star in the movie Happy Gilmore. You may have remembered his performance in biting Chubb's hand and then getting elbowed by Happy Gilmore and all those sorts of things.
Chubb's got that eye, though.
He did get that eye. Morris, the alligator from Colorado, died today at the age of 80. Legend. I mean, that's got to be. Maybe he was in a bunch of movies, but I can't think of any.
I just know Happy Gilmore got his head.
What a performance!
Seriously,
I mean, he's 1 for 1. Every movie he's in is an absolute classic. He sold the anger. He was a huge part of the plot. Right, without him, Chubbs and I mean, I don't want to spoil it for you for those of you that haven't seen a movie.
The statute of limitations is
right. Chubbs he doesn't pass away. Happy's not motivated to go win for him. Shooter doesn't do the whole I'm already playing for Chubbs. It's a big part of the movie. So
caught it first.
Yeah, such a good movie. Shout out to Morris, and I assume whatever like handlers or alligator owners have been hanging with him for the last 80 years. Raise your hand if you knew alligators could live 80 years.
Just thinking of him with Chubbs and Abe Lincoln just hanging out in heaven.
Waving. Look, Happy. Got my hand back. We've only just begun. Here's what I hope happened. I hope the alligator gets up there, finds Carl Weathers, and goes, they still love us, man. The movie still plays. There's GIFs, whatever you want to call it. We're used every single day, man. The thing we made is timeless. What's up, Abe? That's how I hope it goes. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9, The Fan. Let's jump to that Cup check-in, get some more hard-hitting analysis. Cup check-in with Adam Gold presented by Carolina Ale House. Go to Carolina Ale House in Cary for away game watch parties throughout the playoffs. Obviously, an away game coming up here for Carolina. So if you need a place to watch, Carolina Ale House in Cary is about as good as you could do. Adam, for this Cup check-in, is checking in with a very familiar voice, John Forslund. He was in the building. He was part of the media crew. Here's Adam and John in today's Cup check-in.
John Forslund, you had a good seat for it. I heard you right over my right shoulder. What were your thoughts on Game 4 last night?
Number one, my friend, I hope it sounded okay.
Sounded great.
Number two, I'm so happy I was able to see it with my own two eyes because it was a revelation to me, just how well the Hurricanes are playing right now. Because I don't think it translates over the dish. I don't think watching the games from afar, you get a real good feel for how solid they are as a team. Now, I think you're right. Even in the third game, it was a great start again for Washington that Freddie Andersen did his thing. And last night, Washington played really well in the early stages of the game. And uncharacteristically, it developed into a rush chance game back and forth. But as the game went along, and as you analyze each play and each situation within that game, the Hurricanes are absolutely dialed in as a team. And that's as solid a team game as I've seen. There are other series that have a little more angst, a little more excitement, maybe some more star power than you're going to see with this team. But if you go right through the ranks, the four lines of 3D and the goalie, I don't think there's a team as tight right now as the Hurricanes in terms of, how they're playing and their special teams. And that's why their penalty killing is so good, because they're that well coached. So you get to that penalty kill, and that's a real difference maker.
Yeah, Carolina's defense has been outstanding. Freddie Andersen, in 8 games, because he was knocked out of Game 4 of the Devils series and didn't finish that one, has allowed just 11 goals. 11. Now, Andersen, for some reason, has a reputation of being just okay, and I keep hearing playoff Freddie. Playoff Freddie's numbers aren't bad. This year, he's been off the charts, but even historically, his numbers aren't bad. He's got almost a .920 save percentage in the playoffs. I'm not sure what everybody wants.
Well, the thing about Freddie Andersen over his career is he's so gifted and talented, he plays in a rocking chair. And he makes the position look very easy. And when he does get beat, you can look at the reasons why he gets beat because he is so technically sound. He might be just a skosh off his angle. He might give up the odd 5-hole goal.
Yeah.
He might look lackadaisical when he does it, and then it's always blame the goalie. It's always been the case in hockey. It's very easy. It's like kill the umpire. It's like you blame the goalie. I mean, that's basically, what you end up doing. Now, in his career, he's got a lot of battle fatigue, right? He had to play in a hockey-centric market in Toronto and go through some real tough situations that are hard to get by mentally. And I think it probably, and I'm not a psychologist, but I think it probably scarred him a little bit, and he's got to get through that as an athlete. Anaheim was kind of a same situation as a younger goalie, but he was terrific. I mean, I was there for a lot of those playoffs, and he was absolutely great. So now here he is, and to me, you touch wood and you hope he's healthy, because he's back to what he does so well. He's a goalie that can play in this system where he can stand there a lot, and then all of a sudden there's a chance and you better be ready, and he is. And he makes it look easy, and his direction with his rebounds seems to be spot on and better. So when he's spitting them out in the front, like, most goalies can get victimized that way, but for him, he's not the best at recovery saves. I think he's got to make that first technical save, and then the recovery saves have been an issue for him. Other goalies are better at that. But he basically is controlling the puck. He's swallowing it. He's melting it down. He's getting face-offs, and he's directing most of the shots to the corners. So, he's right on where he needs to be. He's the best goalie in the Stanley Cup playoffs, in my opinion, right now.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. How about that for a little mic drop at the end for John Forslund at the end of the Cup check-in with Adam Gold. By the way, Cup check-in presented by Carolina Ale House. The Carolina Ale House in Cary is your location for away game watch parties throughout the playoffs. Freddie, the best goaltender in the postseason remaining.
Is that wrong?
I think if you say who's played the best, who's done the best, I don't think anyone's arguing with you. I think if you say he is the best, you're going to get some pushback from some other fan bases. But, I mean, what he's put on tape, what he's put on the ice through, 9 games now? 9?
He's played 8.
Oh, true. 8 or 7.5.
Something like that.
Yes, he's been outstanding. Outstanding. Shout out to John Forslund and Adam Gold in that latest edition of the Cup check-in. Let's quickly hit some ladder challenge. First of all, shout out to the Twitter listener, the listener who jumped on Twitter to sweat out all-time cold streak over here. I had the Celtics plus 7.5 versus the Knicks yesterday in the ladder challenge. Right, the nature of the ladder challenge is we pick likely to win bets. So I took a team that was a 6.5 point favorite, teased them all the way down to 7.5 point underdog. Then they jumped out to a big lead, dominated the first half, and still ended up losing by 8. The Celtics were up big, gave it all back. They did that a few times. However, they had kept it close, which is what Jayson Tatum was trying to do. He was trying to claw their way back into a couple possessions, and it looks like he may have torn his Achilles. I don't think we've gotten official news on it, but he definitely took a step back, and when he flexed that calf, hit the ground in a whole bunch of pain, which my very untrained opinion says Achilles. They end up losing by 8. I needed them to lose by 7 or less. So I'm back down to 10. I don't know. This is where this is like I'm having a Markelle Fultz moment. Remember, he was the number 1 overall pick, and then he just forgot how to shoot.
Yeah, like Ben Simmons over here.
Yeah, I'm going full Ben Simmons. Don't pass it to me if I'm not at the bucket because I'm not shooting a shot. I'm out here just to rebound and run around and cash checks. Only I can't even cash checks because the ladder challenge, when you're missing shots, you're not getting any money. So Dennis, as I go back to lick my wounds and start with $10 again, what happened to you?
So I had Connor McDavid, Edmonton Oilers last night in their game against the Vegas Golden Knights. Just 2+ shots on goal. Yep, 5. So that felt pretty good about that one. Obviously,
I'm not going to sit here and give you props. I'm over here, like I said, licking my wounds. And,
that's
nursing
fine.
My injuries.
So that put me up to $29.17.
It is
that was a minus
it is
700.
Unreal. A 6.5-point favorite lost by 8. I had them at plus 7.5. And their best player got hurt as he tried to close it to within 7.5. All right, I'm sorry. Well, you go ahead and make your pick.
Oh, yeah. So the only NHL game going on tonight is actually the Winnipeg Jets and the Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars are the best team playing in the NHL, not named the Carolina Hurricanes right now. So those two teams combined for over 3.5 goals is a minus 675, which to me sounds perfect because Connor Hellebuck can't stop anything in the playoffs, and Winnipeg has not won a game on the road. This game's in Dallas. So I'm going to put my $29.17 on over 3.5 goals minus 675 will put me at $33.49.
I'm going full reversal.
Okay.
I'm going full the other way. So yesterday I took a favorite in an NBA game, and I teased them all the way down to being a 7.5-point underdog. I'm going the opposite. The Nuggets are playing OKC tonight. The Nuggets are a 10-point underdog, or at least they were when I checked a couple hours ago. 10-point underdog. Keeping it in our minus 500 to minus 1,000 parameters, I can get the Nuggets at plus 26.5. I am taking Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets at plus 20. They could lose by 25, and I am good. I just need them to stay within 26.5. This series is tied, by the way. Nuggets OKC are 2-2. So you're telling me I can have a team that has won 2 of the last 4 games of this series, 2 of the last 4 games against this team, and I can get them at plus 26.5 within our parameters. If I don't win this, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might sneak into the producer's studio and break the trophy. I might just end everything. 26.5 for Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets. Turn my $10 into $11.03. Baby steps is what we're looking for here. Even if what was it? The Pacers were ahead 80-39 at halftime against the Cavs over the weekend. They were ahead at half 80-39. And the Cavs still covered 26.5. They lost by 20. They still would have won that bet. So, I mean, come on. That's the ladder challenge here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm not frustrated. You can't tell. Let's go ahead and have some fun. Let's boost the energy and go to Copper Drop.
You want true enlightenment? Well, I'm dropping.
All right. Dennis, what are we copping or dropping? What are the decisions being made?
All right, last night during the Carolina Hurricanes game, well, actually, not during, but before the Carolina Hurricanes game, we saw Alexander Nikishin take warm-ups for the Canes. Copper drop. We'll see Nikishin play at some point during these playoffs.
You know I hate doing this, but I'm fairly confident. Doesn't your voice getting real squeaky at the end just exude confidence?
Oh, of course.
Fairly confident.
Yeah, I'd say so.
That the only way he plays is if injury forces him into the lineup. If the 6 guys that have been the workhorses on the blue line for the Canes stay healthy, I'm not sure Nikishin gets the opportunity. But as it looks more likely, right, obviously no series is over till it's over, but as it looks more likely that the Canes are going to be playing in the Eastern Conference Finals, just the longer you play, the more games you play, the more likely somebody is to need a game to, let the swelling go down on something that they tweak. We've seen Jalen Chatfield playing through some boo-boos and some owies. We've seen some of that already going on. So, yeah, I mean, if they make the Eastern Conference Finals, I think there's a good chance that they'll need him at some point. I don't think it'll be a choice, and I don't like predicting injuries, but just playing the odds. If you play, 15, 20 NHL playoff games, that's a lot of physicality up and down there. Somebody might need a night, and that's where Nikishin gets his chance.
Yeah, I think it's pretty well known that Jalen Chatfield is playing through something.
And you can tell just by his ice time. There's periods where he's on the ice for not very much. And he's a guy who I affectionately describe as an innings eater a lot, where it's like, no, you can put him out there and he can grind for you and give you long shifts because he's kind of got that Energizer Bunny thing going on. So when he's not on the ice, it's obvious.
All right, next one here related to the Carolina Hurricanes. Once again, Copper drop. They finished the series on Thursday.
Cop. I'll put it this way. I think Game 4 went a long way towards telling Washington, yeah, you're outclassed in this one. It was a lot of, best shot from you, huh? Well, we'll match that. There was a lot of those sort of things, which mental edge going on the road, going back home. I don't think, obviously not in your conscious mind do you ever have this thought. Do you think anyone on Washington's going like, we don't have to go back to Carolina?
Yeah.
Carolina.
There's golf courses around here.
Well, Carolina's one of the most wins at home during the regular season.
Them and the LA Kings.
And 5-0 at home in the postseason.
Yeah.
I just saw a stat, certain amount of years, maybe it's been since Rod took over, whatever, 22 wins on home ice is the most over that time period for the Canes in the postseason of anyone in the league. They're good at home, so it's like, yeah, we could lose Game 5 and not even have to pack up our bags again. Or we could win Game 5, then have to go to Carolina and get whipped up in front of a loud crowd again, and then we'll just fly home and be done. Again, never in your conscious mind, but maybe there's just a little whisper in the back of your brain going, it's just easier.
It's like, you know what? I'm good.
I like traveling.
I'm good. All right, next one here. So, cop or drop. You just read the news, the breaking news just a few minutes ago that Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, has lifted the ban of both Shoeless Joe Jackson and Pete Rose, essentially saying anyone that's, once they've passed away, your ban is lifted. So, cop or drop. We will see Shoeless Joe Jackson and Pete Rose get elected into the Hall of Fame. Cop or drop.
I am copping. I think writers, the voters, I think they'll see it similarly. Like, if you just change the wording, what they have as a indefinite ban, now you just say it's a lifetime ban, which ends at the end of your lifetime. I think that they'll see it the same way. This is also like Rob Manfred and baseball and Major League Baseball telling voters to see it that way. I think that's one of the hard parts about the steroid era and these guys that are all kind of knocking on the door and not getting in and all those sorts of things is no one's really told anyone how to view them, right? Nobody's told the voters, hey, hold steroids against them, or hey, there was an entire era, the rules were vague, don't hold it against them. If you don't give people kind of the blueprint, they won't know how to act. So this seems like Major League Baseball telling everybody, hey, they're okay now. You can vote for them based on what they did on the field. And maybe they will. I think they get in.
All right, final one here on cop or drop. We can actually go back to something related to the Carolina Hurricanes here real fast. Cop or drop. They play the winner of the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Florida Panthers. Cop or drop. Panthers, Leafs, go to 7 games.
Ooh.
Series is tied 2-2. Game 5 is tomorrow.
If I'm okay, so it went.
It's in.
I was
going to
try to think of where it
Toronto.
was. Yeah, it's going back up in Toronto.
Home team's undefeated in that series so far.
Yeah. It's going 7. I'm copping.
Let's go.
Not only is that, a lot of times you see these series where home teams they just went all the way out, and you just got to play out the string.
Happened to Carolina.
Yeah, it happens a decent amount, especially in hockey. But also wishful thinking. I want them, assuming the Canes can end the series soon and be waiting for whoever it is in the Eastern Conference Finals. You want them tired out. You want them to have just gone through a 12-round knockdown, drag-out fight. And the Canes have proven a few times that they can take a little bit of a break and flip the switch in Game 1 to go play well. So, for wishful thinking, I hope it goes 7. And I hope the Canes can finish it early. There you go. That's Copper Drop here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. A big part of the Canes potentially ending their second-round series against the Capitals early, the guy in the pipes. The guy between the pipes, Freddie Andersen. What is he doing for the Canes that is so darn impressive? We talk Freddie. You can start the chants now, right? It's always cool when they get the Freddie. The Freddie chants continue coming up next.
What? New scratch-offs are out. That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $100 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.35 to 4.58. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Are you in charge of running the building maintenance plays at your workplace? If you're facing roofing issues, you gotta get RoofWorks into the game. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. You can count on us to be your MVP when it comes to taking care of your commercial building roof. We handle leaky roof repair, coatings, total replacements, upfits, and we even do commercial gutters. Let us show you what a valuable addition we are to your building maintenance team. Contact us today online at roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
Hello, Scott Forbes, head baseball coach, University of North Carolina. When it comes to choosing a dealership, I stick with Wilkinson, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. Growing up in Sanford, I've been fortunate to be lifelong friends with Will Wilkinson. My family and I have been buying and having our vehicles serviced at Wilkinson for many, many years. Great service, competitive prices, and most importantly, a place you can trust. Go where I go. Go see my longtime friend Will Wilkinson at Wilkinson, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC.
Hey, it's Adam Gold for my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. How many different words can you come up with to describe a home run? A dinger, a tater, a big fly, an oppo taco, right? A moonshot. We have all these euphemisms, and on FanDuel, every Tuesday is Dinger Tuesday. They chose that one. That means when you bet on home runs, you can take your winnings to new heights. It's a little profit boost, a little sprinkle for you. Go to FanDuel.com/AdamGold, FanDuel.com/AdamGold, and claim your Dinger Tuesday profit boost. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and maximum wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Now an opportunity for Washington. Wilson. Ovechkin sends it across. Mr. Andersen! Oh, he just robbed Dylan Strome.
Oh, happy. Chubbs. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. For those of you that missed the news, Morris, a.k.a. the alligator from the movie Happy Gilmore, collared me waiting on you in the parking lot. I believe that jacket's Happy's. Like,
hey, shooter, forget your 9-iron?
I did it off Frankenstein's fat foot, remember? Like, there's so many. Want to go back, hey, just May, down by the, want to build some clay, whatever the combo is. Ninth Green at 9. I mean, that's a great song. You watch Happy Gilmore, that's what it is. There you go. The other day, I had to describe a song to somebody. I had it stuck in my head, and I couldn't, it was one of those, I couldn't hit the lyrics. I didn't know. My brain wasn't working right. You don't want to hear me try to sing a song for somebody else to guess. And do you know what ended up getting it done? It's the song when Julius Campbell is walking through the neighborhood to go see Gary Bertier, and the cop stops him, and best defense I've seen in 30 years. And immediately they're like, boom, got it. And I forget what it was again. But it's movies, and it's like, they just connect. So shout out to Happy Gilmore. And shout out to Morris, Shout out to Carl Weathers, a.k.a. Chubbs. They're coming out with another Happy Gilmore. I've seen the trailer. I am terrified.
I avoid trailers.
I guess I...
So don't spoil it,
I was going
man.
to say it. I just don't want to say. All I can say is my expectations are not high. That does nothing for
That's fair.
Like plot spoiling or anything like that. I looked at it and went, don't you mess with Happy Gilmore now. Don't you taint the memory. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's talk Freddie Andersen. That's something we can talk about. No spoilers because it's live sports. He played well yesterday. The last 2 games he's played really well. This postseason, he's played really well. For the second straight game, he was, for better or worse, he was the tone setter for the Canes. Tested early. Dennis and I were sitting next to Adam Gold, so we were all kind of watching, and we almost all had the exact same thought. There were a bunch of tests early on of Freddie, and he came up with the blocks, and we leaned back and all just at the same time went, feels a lot like last game. Ooh, which is good and bad, right? Because obviously last game ended up being a shutout. So Freddie getting his juices flowing early, making some good saves, may indicate that he's ready to play a great game. But also, it does feel like you're playing with fire a little bit. If you keep allowing good looks at your goalie right out the gate to start the game, it seems like at some point it's going to bite you. It's going to get you. It hasn't the last 2 games because Freddie's been there ready and able to pass the tests, but I still don't love it, right? It's like, I love the game. I love that you won the last 2 games by a combined 7 goals. I love that you're up 3-1. I love that he's been a big part of it. I would still like for him to get a little bit easier of a first period. Rod Brindamore after the game highlighted that Freddie was great.
When you look at the end of the night, I'm like 21 shots. It felt a lot worse than that, but there was a lot of close ones and early. I know they hit the post on the one, but he made some big saves. And it's just a different game when you can play from in front, that's for sure.
I could not agree with him more that it seems like Freddie is facing more shots than he is. And I think it's because of what I just said, the beginning of the game, he's facing a bunch. And then as the skaters settle in, he's facing less and less. But in our brains, like the tempo at the beginning is still kind of its first impression thing. It's like that's just what we think is happening. Fun fact about interviews, this was told to me by somebody like interior ESPN, that your first question, this is just like inside radio stuff, whatever answer your subject gives you for the first question, their brain subconsciously tries to answer that same amount for every question you ask. So your first question, if you're going to do like a long form, should just be try to get a long answer in return. Then you can ask more difficult questions, and their like subconscious will want to answer that same distance. And it's partially because of the like phenomena of first impressions, right? Whatever happens first, we try to keep happening. We imagine keeps happening. So if he faces 9 shots in the first period, we're like, all right, it's probably like 27. Even if he only faces 3 in the second period, our brain is still just like, well, he faced a bunch early, so he's got to be up there. It feels like Freddie is facing a ton of shots. Now, they are high leverage, which maybe makes us think like, all right, if he faced 3 good looks, there's probably a couple bad looks mixed in there. There might not be. It might just have been the 3 looks that he faced. But he's answering the question. He's answering the call. If we take out, and I don't know if it's fair to just say like, hey, let's remove this. But if we take out Alexander Ovechkin scoring with a 2-man advantage, which, I mean, I don't want to say it was inevitable, but it did kind of feel like you have the best power play goal scorer in the history of the game, and 2 guys. It's all right, there you go. Give that one. If you take out that, he's allowed 1 goal in 2 games against a team absolutely desperate for wins in the Stanley Cup playoffs with a whole bunch of scores. They got a whole bunch of 20 and 30 goal scorers on that team. It's not like you're playing some inept attack unit. No, they're playing a good squad.
Bunch of dudes that had career seasons.
And Freddie and the blue line, right, because it is team sport stuff, they've been up to the challenge. We've been watching, and it goes back to The goalie is the ultimate eraser, right? When we talk at the beginning of the postseason, if you could pick one player on the Canes to have a great postseason run that you think would most benefit the Canes, who would you choose? We had to throw in the caveat, goalies excluded, because everybody would pick the goalie. And this is why. This is why. Right? We talked about how there's this turning tide of opinions on the Canes system, and now at intermission they're playing clips of the Canes defense and illustrating how they don't sit back and wait. They go attack the opposing team's forwards, and they're skating forward when so many other teams are skating backwards and all that. And I mean, if Freddie doesn't make 3 or 4 exceptional saves, nobody is highlighting the Canes defense. They could play the exact same hockey they played, but if Freddie doesn't get the stop right out the gate in game 3 on Wilson, if they don't get the stop right out the gate against McMichael, if Strome doesn't get turned away there, then nobody is highlighting the Canes defense. They're talking about giving up goals. But instead, they play exactly how they are. They give up the whatever it is, 20, 21 shots. Freddie is there to answer the bell, and seems like the Canes defense is playing unbelievable. And then on the other side, right, that like I said, they're winning by a bunch. Canes are doing their job finding the goals as well. Here's Seth Jarvis, fan favorite and one of the leaders of the Canes, young guy, talking about not only is Freddie playing great, but the scoring's getting there as well.
He's had our back this whole series. I mean, it's about time we helped him out a little bit, and not that he needed. He played great. You can't do a whole lot on those goals, but it's nice to see him go in, and it's good to contribute offensively and not have to rely on him so much. And that's what we did tonight.
It feels good to baseball term, give the run support. It's a real bump. And actually this goes for every sport, but especially I would say football, baseball as far as pitchers and position players, and hockey for goalies. If a pitcher, a goalie, and a defense in football, like an entire defensive unit, if they play great and the football defense gives up 7, 1 touchdown, that's it. Or the goalie gives up 1 goal and it's something like an Ovechkin 2-man advantage power play. Or a pitcher goes 8 2/3, gives up 1 run, right? Just great performances. And you still lose the game because you don't get the run support, the offense can't score, whatever it is. Or the obviously in hockey, the skaters aren't getting goals. You feel so bad. It's just the worst. I hated being in a football locker room when the defense played well and the offense didn't. They gave up, 12 points on all field goals, and we could only muster 9. And you're in that locker room, you're just like, they hate us so much. But then on the flip side, it feels great, right? If they hold, if Freddie only gives up the 2 and you score 5, you're in there like, we had your back, buddy, and now you're best friends. Now there's no offense versus defense haters in the locker room. It's just good vibes, and I think that's what Jarvis was describing, right?
Yeah,
and he didn't need our help. He didn't need 5 goals. He only needed 3 of them. We gave him 5 anyway, just because it's always good to get a few extra.
Just playing with a lead too. It takes a lot of stress off.
Playing with a lead. I actually thought when they were up 2-0, there was a little bit of they may have been watching the clock going, come on, tick faster. And then once Washington scored the 2-1 goal, from that point on, I thought the Canes played really, really well. Really, really well. And I get it. It's, 2-0 lead, you do kind of feel like, hey, Freddie's playing great. He hasn't allowed a goal in, whatever it ended up being, like 5 periods. 2-0 might be enough. Let's just be conservative. And then still got to play. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the starting 5 coming up next, including an official update on what everybody feared with Jayson Tatum, the injury from last night. But before we get there, Dennis Cox has something for you.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Folks, are your monthly bills keeping you up at night? Maybe you're worried about your finances in these crazy times. If you're like most people, you've racked up a sizable amount on your credit cards, and the monthly payment simply isn't making a dent in it. It's time to give Loan Pronto a call. If you own a home, you have a super easy way to get tens or even hundreds of thousands in cash. Loan Pronto has lots of options for helping you tap into the equity in your home and get the cash you need to get back on solid footing. Most homeowners who do this end up up wiping out all their credit card debt and cutting their monthly expenses by $1,000. Look, you didn't mean to end up here, but you don't have to keep stressing about money. Give Loan Pronto a call for fast debt relief now. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Again, the website, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, heads towards the starting five, including audio from Bill Belichick earlier today. Stick around.
Need more Stanley Cup chatter, Canes fans? Listen afternoons at 12:15 and 4:15 for our Cup Check-In. Served up by Carolina Ale House. Adam Gold talks with hockey's best, past and present, bringing you the latest insight on the chase for Lord Stanley's Cup. It's the Cup Check-In on 99.9 The Fan. Served up by Carolina Ale House. Come to Carolina Ale House Cary for away game watch parties throughout the playoffs, or visit carolinaalehouse.com/Canes.
It's bow time. Yep, it's eating time again. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. But if you're tired of cooking, or tired of sorta cooking, it's time to feed the whole family with Bojangles Fried Chicken Family Meal. With Bojangles' famous chicken, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can forget the cookbook and spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner from Bojangles. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing for some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. Satisfy your craving for flavor and your passion for boneless chicken with Bojangles 4-piece Supremes Dinner. 4 perfectly seasoned, Cajun-fried, whole breast tenderloin fillets. Choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and Bojangles' legendary iced tea. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Hi, I'm Marcy Bailey, and at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, we understand your concerns when it comes to buying an engagement ring. Am I paying too much? Am I getting a quality diamond? Will she love the ring? Rest assured, we prioritize your happiness as much as the exquisite diamonds we offer. That's why we provide unparalleled guarantees to give you peace of mind. First of all, we offer an incredible 30-day money-back guarantee. Secondly, with our unique 100-day price protection, we promise you'll get the best price, quality, and value. But if you find a better offer, we'll match it and give you 10% of the difference. But we don't stop there. We also offer an unprecedented lifetime diamond guarantee. It's our way of giving you confidence throughout all of your cherished moments. We've been locally owned since 1948 and voted the best jeweler year after year. At Bailey's, we're not just selling jewelry. We're providing a legacy of trust. We invite you to shop with us and experience the difference.
Hear that? That's the sound of digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. With instant wins, progressive jackpots, and bonus games right from your phone. It's non-stop chances to win like you've never seen or heard before.
Oh, yeah! Big money!
Visit nclottery.com to get in on the action. Must be 18 to play. See prize and odds charts at nclottery.com/digital-instance for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
Get in the hole!
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. There's a few spotty storms early this evening that could be strong. 64 the low. A greater coverage of showers and storms tomorrow afternoon and early evening. Some of these could be strong to severe again. The high temperature around 80 degrees.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones this afternoon at the closing bell down 269 points to 42,100. 140. Market update brought to you by the Body Armor State Games. The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting 5 on a Tuesday, so let's go ahead and jump into it, starting with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I mean, that's, really off to the side. It's a personal relationship, and she doesn't have anything to do with UNC football. I'm excited to be back in the coaches' meetings and getting ready for June, and then August when we get to training camp. So June will be a big recruiting month for us, and then August we'll start getting ready for the season.
That was Bill Belichick with ESPN earlier today at the ACC meetings taking place down there in Florida, Amelia Island. I believe Bill has hired or is working with, I should say, a new PR consultant. Guys, good work, because that is a fantastic answer. Right? He's taking his personal life, aka the relationship with Jordan Hudson, and saying that's aside from football, and then he's talking football like a true football coach, right? Like a football guy. Like, I'm just excited for the big recruiting weekend we have coming up. That's good. That is, yeah, in a weird way, Coach Belichick's coachable. Look at that. Earlier today, Belichick also caught up with our very own Brian Murphy, colleague, WRAL sports investigative reporter. There's a full interview between Brian and Bill Belichick on WRAL.com. You'll see it throughout the day on WRAL TV as well. We have some clips for you here. We played some earlier, didn't get to them all. Belichick was asked why UNC was a good fit for him, again asked by Brian Murphy, and this is Belichick's response.
Well, UNC is special because of the brand. It's a great academic school. It's a great athletic tradition, and again, the fact that there were some roots there for me early in my life that was coming full circle was a good feeling.
I've said this a long time, and I think Belichick was hinting at it there. I think UNC is a sleeping giant when it comes to football. So much of what college sports are about right now, brand building, awareness, like money. UNC has so much of it. The Jordan brand, like all of it is so linked to UNC. I'm not saying NIL budgets and everything don't matter for UNC, but I'm saying you start with 2 steps ahead of everybody else. They've got to fundraise to make up that gap, and then you get rolling. And I think that's kind of why he would choose UNC. They got everything I need to build a real winner there. Belichick was also asked, and this is ironic based on the conversation we just had, what success looks like at UNC. Again, this question asked by Brian Murphy of WRAL. You can catch the full video, WRAL.com. Here's Belichick's response to what success looks like at UNC.
Getting better every day. Just coming in and having a good day, having a productive day, and then rest, recovery, and do another one tomorrow and keep stacking them on top of each other. That's how you achieve success, is consistency and the discipline to do it repeatedly over and over. So that's what we're going to try to do. We'll let the process play out, but it's important that we develop a good, solid routine.
He's back. That sounds like the old Belichick. That's what I can't, you even hear Brian Murphy in the background right at the beginning when he starts, what's success look like? And he's getting better every day. You hear Brian laughing. I was doing the same. I was chuckling to myself. That answer, it's just all right, that's all I'm going to get. It's Bill Belichick. Of course that's all you're going to get. We changed our expectations over the last couple of months because he's been different. But now it's I don't know if these two people have ever been. You ever seen one of your favorite musical artists get a little experimental, try something new? Or Snoop Dogg put out a reggae album.
Andre 3000. That's all you got to say.
The flute. Or at one point, Lil Wayne was going to be like a rock star. He was playing the guitar on stage all the time, and you're like, ooh, I'm glad he's happy, but I don't know if I'm going to buy that album. And then they get back to doing what you loved them for. It's like, you're back. Perfect. All right, Snoop, you're rapping again. That's what I feel like hearing this conversation between Brian Murphy of WRAL and Bill Belichick. I'm like, ooh, you got kind of away from what you do well there for a little bit, huh? But you're back. We're getting conversations about competition and everybody working hard and taking it one day at a time. Oh, man. Bublé's playing Christmas music again. That's what we're looking for, right? That's what we come to you for. That's why we hired you to play this Christmas special. Like, it's we don't want the new different stuff. We want what you do well. WRAL.com, WRAL TV for the interview. You can find the entire conversation between Brian Murphy and Bill Belichick at the ACC meetings in Amelia Island in Florida. And there are other pieces of news that we expect to come out of that meeting, and we'll talk about them as the week goes along. What number was that? Number 5? Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 all together.
Derek, we didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday. Derek Carr retired? Derek Carr just said, I'm probably going to need surgery and a rehab, and no. He just walked away. First of all, from a Panthers perspective, the Saints are now in a very, I would say, likely complete reset position. I don't know if there's been a team more set up to just, and I say this with all due respect, stink this year. Just move every bit of future salary cap hit into this year, pay it all out in roster bonuses, and reset everything for next year and guarantee yourself a top pick. The Saints, I don't know if people realize this. When we joke, we say like the Eagles or the Niners or the Saints for a long time there. The salary cap doesn't apply to them. The salary cap is fake. We're not actually saying the salary cap is fake. What we're saying is they've found loopholes to make all of the money they're paying their team this year count towards some undetermined future year. And that bill will come due at some point, but you can keep kicking it into the future. It just keeps getting worse. The medicine that you're going to have to eventually take is getting higher and higher in dosage. Right now, the Eagles are that way. The Eagles have so many void years on their players' contracts that not in the next 2 or 3 years, right? Their Super Bowl window is open, but some year in the future, they're going to get smacked by the salary cap. The Saints did that for a long time. This goes back to like the end of the Breeze era. They were kicking salary into the future to try to get one more run under Breeze, and they never really just reset. Now that Derek Carr is retiring, this is the year to do it, which would turn the NFC South into likely a 3-team race. Which, I mean, when you are counting your wins in like 5, 6, hopefully they can reach 8 or 9, getting 2 guaranteed against a division opponent is no small fact. So, if Derek Carr wants to push the Saints towards a complete reset, just be there to say, thank you, I appreciate it, we will enjoy it. All right, that's the Moneyball thing, right? They want to throw you or they want to throw you out at first or whatever it is with the bunt, say thank you, take the base. All those sort of things. And then secondarily, there's a lot of money to be spent that they won't be able to. If they're resetting, maybe they want to get out of like a Chris Olave contract. Who knows where that moves? Does Kamara really want to just be a part of a reset when he's a 30-something-year-old running back? Or where does that go? I'm just saying, if a team's going to reset, there's going to be players available. Not saying the Panthers are going to want either of those, but just saying they could shift up around the NFL. That was number 4. Let's hit number 3.
Tatum will bring it up for Boston. Gives it up, gets it back. Squares for 3. On its way. Good! Tatum giving Boston the lead back, and he has tied Ray Allen's record with his 7th three-pointer.
This is a bummer. We have the update on Jayson Tatum's injury. I'll read you the statement from the Celtics. Jayson Tatum today underwent successful surgery to repair a ruptured right Achilles tendon. No timetable is currently available for his return, but he's expected to make a full recovery. Further updates will be provided when appropriate. This is a bummer for a lot of reasons. One, anytime an athlete gets hurt, it stinks. Two, kind of where the Celtics are in the postseason. The timing of it is I imagine, wildly frustrating for Tatum because he doesn't get a chance to fight some of the narrative. Jayson Tatum is a wildly impressive competitor. You don't become the best player on an NBA championship team without being that. You saw it at Duke when he was here in Durham in the Triangle. They had two 20-point leads in Games 1 and Game 2 against the Knicks. They lost both. They bounced back in Game 3. Then they have another big lead in Game 4, and they squander that lead as well. When you have that kind of a frustrating series, even if they went on to lose it with a healthy Tatum, do you know what athletes do when they're wildly frustrated and mad about how things went? They hit the gym. They get shots up. They go scrimmage. They go work on it, right? Never again am I going to let that happen. If I have that shot, I'm going to hit it. Tatum has to go rest. He has to go get off his foot for a while. He's going to ice and elevation until eventually he moves to ankle flexion. And that's just, I wouldn't wish that on my biggest rival in any sport. I can put a little bit more information on it. Shams Charania, ESPN NFL or NBA insider. This is how he described it, right? So that the statement I read came from the Celtics. Now let's hear from Shams Charania. I have his reporting in front of me. Boston Celtics All-NBA star Jayson Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. Catastrophic season-ending injury for one of the NBA's young faces, with a long rehab awaiting. Achilles is not a fun rehab.
I can't see him playing at any point next season.
Especially timing of, right?
Yes.
Because it happened in the postseason. If it happened earlier, before the All-Star break, maybe. But no, I agree with you. I think it'll probably be, the 2026-2027 season that we see him back out there for the Celtics. And do you know why else this is a bummer? Just this isn't the uplifting. Another reason why this stinks, another reason why this is sad, more from Shams Charania. Tatum has played the most regular season and playoff contests of any player in the NBA since he reached the league in 2017. 706 games. He led the Celtics in total points, rebounds, and assists in each of the last two postseason runs, including their run to the championship last year. Do you know what's a bummer about this? Tatum he's affectionately a hooper. He wants to play. He doesn't do nearly as much. Not saying he doesn't do any, but he doesn't do nearly as much of the load management stuff that people will complain about. He's out there playing a lot of basketball, and something like this happens, whether it is related or not, right? Maybe it's a complete fluke, and it would have happened if it was his 13th game in years. It's going to be another argument for why stars shouldn't play 706 games in whatever that ends up being, like 8 seasons. You want the ones that play a ton to have long and successful careers so others feel empowered to do it as well. When they end up having serious injuries, you just get more and more and more like, well, maybe stars should really play 55 games, and as long as their team is good enough to get a top 4 seed and without them for 25, 30, 35 games, they should do that. And I don't like that. That's number 3. Let's hit number 2.
The Charlotte Hornets.
NBA lottery took place last night. The lottery does not have fans at the moment. Outside of, I don't even know if Dallas fans are excited. Because I feel like Dallas fans want Nico Harrison, their GM, to be punished for trading away Luka.
True.
And now he's being rewarded with Cooper Flag, and it's like, no, he hasn't paid his penance yet. He's got to pay his debt to society. Right? All the Mavs fans were like, no, we said we weren't going to be Mavs fans. Now we're going to root for Cooper Flag, so we're coming back, but Mavs got the number 1 overall pick in the NBA lottery. They had a 1.8% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick. They were in the play-in games this year. So they're literally like knocking on the doorstep of the postseason. They were just gifted the number 1 overall pick. And on top of that, Kyrie Irving was hurt. So they were knocking on the door of the postseason without even having Kyrie Irving around for a good portion of the season. So now you're having a near postseason team, adding half a season of Kyrie back and hopefully healthy, and Cooper Flagg. That's not what's supposed to happen at the league. The best player from the draft is supposed to go to one of the worst teams in the draft, not a good team.
Also, not shocker, Anthony Davis was hurt for a stretch, too.
If Anthony Davis, first of all, Duke fans, you're going to start rooting for Dallas because there's Kyrie, there's Cooper Flagg, and Derek Lively. Then just to supplement, you get Anthony Davis in the mix just to make their job easier. Right?
Sure.
Now they don't have to play defense because he got it, even though Lively – actually, goodness, I didn't even think about that. AD, Lively, and Cooper Flagg defensively? That front court? Either way. All right, moving on. So Dallas, the big winner. The 3 teams that had the worst records in the league, Utah, the Wizards, and Charlotte, each had a 14% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick. Obviously, none of them did. They didn't get the 2nd pick. They didn't get the 3rd pick. The Hornets got the 4th pick. Utah got the 5th pick. And the Wizards got the 6th pick. These are the 3 worst teams in the league. Keep in mind, why is the draft weighted the way it is? It's to create parity. So the bad teams can improve by getting the best players in the draft. It simply doesn't happen with the way the lottery is set up right now. In 2019, and as a Sixers fan, I will raise my hand and say the Sixers created a problem when they went full trust the process and stunk a bunch of years in a row. They created a problem. Tanking was an issue. So in order for the NBA to fix it, they wanted to de-incentivize being the worst team in the league. So they made it so the bottom 3 all received the same odds, and they weren't as certain to get a top 3 pick. What it's done is it's turned into good teams getting good players and bad teams never having the chance to get better. It's the 3rd straight year the team with the worst record in the league didn't get a top 4 pick. Not since they've implemented the new system in 2019 has the worst team gotten the 1st pick. That's not going to do well for the long-term healthier league. The haves and the have-nots are just going to continue to separate. Charlotte did not get the number 1 pick.
Got 4.
Of the 3 worst teams, they actually got the best scenario. 4 is, if you look at just the rudimentary mock drafts, which are very early, 4 you'll get one of these 4. Cooper Flagg, not happening. The 2 guys from Rutgers or VJ Edgecombe. That's Ace Bailey and what's his name, Harper. Those 2 from Rutgers or VJ Edgecombe from Baylor. Side note, how the heck did Rutgers not make the NCAA tournament? They have 2 of the top 3 or 4 picks in the draft, according to very rudimentary, very early mock drafts. That's number 2. Let's hit number 1.
The 1! Scores! What a play! What a transition pass! And Taylor Hall puts Carolina back up by 2. It's 3-1.
You knew what number 1 was going to be. The Canes win Game 4, 5-2 over the Capitals. And with more details on that game that took place last night at the Lenovo Center, here is Adam Gold with 2 minutes of gold.
I've got 2 minutes for 2 big Hurricane goals that answered 2 big Washington goals as Carolina has a 2-game lead and 1 game away from the 3rd round of the playoffs. And it is all brought to us by Parkway Sleep Health Centers for better sleep. Hurricanes took a 2-0 lead into the 3rd period, much like they did in Game 3, only this time Washington got the next goal. That made it 2-1. But not too long after that, one of the new guys, Taylor Hall, answered.
Now Hall all alone in on Thompson. Hall scores! What a play! What a transition pass! And Taylor Hall puts Carolina back up by 2. It's 3-1.
But then, Alexander Ovechkin scored a 5-on-3 power play goal to make it 3-2. No worries. Sean Walker draws a paycheck for the Hurricanes.
Paul reaches for it. He'll get it to Walker. Walker's got Roslovic with him. Walker holds, shoots, and scores! Sean Walker's first postseason goal, and it is a monster! Carolina goes up 4-2 with 3:15 left here in the third.
4-2, lights out, we're done. See you in D.C. on Thursday. Andrei Svechnikov, the empty net wizard, Harry Pottered his way to a 5-2 win. He now has 7 goals. He was excellent, but we can be honest here. Sean Walker, first star of the game. Taylor Hall was actually the first star in the arena. Hey, not throwing any shade there. I thought number 26 was Carolina's best player, right behind him, or maybe alongside of him, and he was in the third period. Jacob Slavin, another masterclass from number 74. Frederik Andersen continues to do what he's doing, and the Hurricanes are 1 win away from the conference finals for the 3rd time in 7 years. Pretty good. ParkwaySleep.com. Start your journey to a healthier night's sleep. Parkway Sleep Health Center. Sound sleep, sound health. Sound off for 1 more win for the 3rd round.
That is 2 minutes of gold with our very own Adam Gold, giving you the ins and outs of what took place during the game yesterday. There was a bit of news that took place before the game that got Canes fans all hot and bothered, all riled up. Nikishin skated in warm-ups. How you like me now? It was the buzz. It was the what's the haps. It's what was going on.
Wait, are we going to see him today?
Today? Oh, you mean that's what we were thinking yesterday?
So
I was
we're
like,
going to see him today?
I don't know. What are we doing today? No game. Catch him. That's basically what everyone was saying. Basically. And then very quickly, Walt Ruff, team reporter, and a few others. Well, actually, he's not really in the game plan, but he was out there skating, which is different, which is, I think, really what it came down to. Like, why? He hasn't been doing that. Why is he skating in warm-ups now? What's different? What are you preparing for? And Rod Brindamore was asked just that earlier today. Why did Nikishin take warm-ups?
Giving him kind of the routine, and there's probably a good chance we'll have to use him at some point, but that was really the reasoning.
Makes sense. Now, the interesting wording there is we're probably going to need him at one point. Now, I don't think Rod treats being questioned by the media like some kind of deposition where he has to choose every word carefully. So I think we might need him would have been a different way. That means kind of the same thing to say it, right? Probably in might or probably, and there's a chance, or if something happens, we will, or he's one play away from. Like, there's a lot of coaching cliches that don't include probably. Probably was interesting. So the media did their job. They followed up and asked, would Nikishin be the next man up on defense? And here's Rod.
We got a couple options, and we've had looks at other guys, so we know. I think there's a comfort, at least you know what you're getting versus not really sure. So then it'd be a tough situation to plop a kid in that hasn't played a game over here, but in with these stakes. But I think I said we're just trying to give him every step of the way, and then hopefully we don't have to make those decisions. But if we do, we'll figure it out.
There's the coach speak I'm looking for. It could be any of them. The way I look at it, and this is, all of us from the outside are kind of, looking around in the dark for Nikishin because, the ability to scout a KHL game is limited, and obviously they would know a lot better. But the way I look at it, kind of the way they're acting, kind of the way that I'm reading things, is he is their 7th most NHL Stanley Cup playoff ready defenseman. The 6 guys they have are doing a good job and they trust them, but there is a crossover point where if there's an injury that's holding you to 70%, maybe Nikishin gets the jump there. If there's an injury that holds you out, I think Nikishin gets the opportunity, and you play him in warm-ups so he knows what to do. Every team does. Part of it is I've told this story a lot, but we used to use a preseason scrimmage in college. I played college football at the University of Delaware. As a dress rehearsal. You'd get in game uniforms. We'd play on the game field. And the scrimmage was almost nothing. The scrimmage was like, 7-on-7. But what it was like, hey, running backs, this is where you warm up pregame, so jog here. Don't go out there looking around like, where do we go? Where's my guys? Like, you had to, hey, when we stretch, these are the lines we get in. This is where you're going to be. So we don't look like a ragtag bunch of not knowing what you're doing's out there. So getting a Keyshawn in the warm-ups is partially that kind of stuff. It's like, hey, this is what we do. This is how we get warm. You will have this period of time to figure out what you need to do because everyone's a little different. Like, it's more ironing out those details, so he is ready if his number's called.
Yeah, that kind of that shock and awe factor, like, oh, wow, NHL. Like, okay, you've stepped on this ice. It's okay.
Put on the jersey, You've worn it, you've done all that sort of stuff. So I don't think it guarantees you any kind of inside scoop towards him playing or not playing on Thursday. I think it's just if he has to play on Thursday now, he's more prepared than he would have been. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we grab numbers game contestants, Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. I was over there at Bailey's Fine Jewelry this weekend, and, heck, I've graduated from everything I'm going to graduate from. Right? I graduated high school, I graduated college, and I'm not going back to school. But I kind of wanted to fake like I was. Like, hey, big graduation coming up, just to get a graduation gift, like a dope watch from the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop. They have the hottest lineup in town. We're talking pre-owned and vintage Rolex, Omega, Blancpain, Glashütte Original, Norcane. I was pretty impressed by the pre-owned and vintage Cartier section they had. I'm a big fan of the Hamiltons. They aren't just watches. In many cases, they are icons. You've seen them on the wrists of astronauts, if we're talking the Omega Speedmaster. You've seen them on the wrist of movie stars in movies. The most famous movie, Spy, if we're talking about the Omega Seamaster. One of the craziest sci-fi movies, you're talking the Hamiltons, right? These are icons. And if you're into sports and you like having an active lifestyle, grab yourself a diving watch. You can get them, right? It's raining outside. Don't worry about it. Get yourself a racing watch, a flying watch, a pilot's watch. Whatever your game, they've got a watch that fits the moment and the mindset for you. And yes, graduation gifts, anniversaries, big milestones, they're the perfect gifts. Bailey's Fine Jewelry is your go-to for these unforgettable, iconic gifts. Their selection of fine and designer jewelry is unmatched. Think timeless, thoughtful, and guaranteed to impress. And when you head out to the Village District location in Raleigh, which is where the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop and the Omega Boutique are located within Bailey's Fine Jewelry, remember that you heard about it right here on 99.9 The Fan, and let them know as you check out their selection. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Today's prize for the numbers game is, as I scroll down, Keith Urban tickets. Keith Urban, Chase Matthew, and Alana Springsteen are coming to Coastal Credit Union Music Park May 31st, so right at the end of this month. If you want the tickets, you have to win the numbers game. To win the numbers game, you have to call in now. We need two contestants, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326 for your chance to compete in the numbers game. Stick around.
The Adam Gold Show.
I am not a watcher of Entertainment Tonight or Bravo Network. I don't care about these things. I don't care about the relationship between Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson unless it impacts football. Nobody has made the connection for me that this will impact football. But I will say this, the university can't separate itself from the relationship because Belichick is UNC football.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
And we're back talking all things connectivity with Spectrum customers Kev and Melissa. So tell us, how long have you been with Spectrum and how important is a reliable internet connection?
We've been Spectrum customers since we moved 12 years ago. The first thing we did is sign up for Spectrum Internet.
You get a lease, you get Wi-Fi.
Yes,
immediately.
We need that. We had Spectrum Wi-Fi before our couch got here.
That's true. That's a true story.
I'll sleep on the floor, but I won't go to bed with no internet.
You heard it here. Switch to Spectrum now.
It's back. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale at the Carr Scott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki outboards May 16th through the 18th. And it's bringing the largest inventory and deepest discount of the year. Save thousands off top brands. On-site financing to get you approved and on the water. Boats in stock and priced to move now. Test ride your boat at delivery. Get in a new boat or upgrade in time for summer. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale, May 16th through 18th at the Carr Scott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki outboards.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-566-1649. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-566-1649. That's 800-566-1649. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey girl, haven't seen you downtown lately. Nope, sticking to our go-to places. You mean like Sharky's? Well, we love our Sharky's. Best wings and gumbo on the planet. But we never miss the $5 sangrias on Wednesdays at the new Salt and Lime and Mexican pints on Thursdays for $3. You know my boy loves the House of Hops. No better selection of craft beer in the state. Loves their specials, their food trucks, and you know I love my wine. They have a wonderful selection. And have I told you about our new takeout spot, Che Empanadas? It's right next to Sharky's. They have 20 different types of authentic Argentinian empanadas, and they are incredible, especially the breakfast ones. You gotta try it. Sounds perfect. And how awesome is it that they're so close to each other? Yes!
Give them a try. Che Empanadas, House of Hops, Salt and Lime, and Sharky's. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from each other off Raleigh Road, Glenwood, and Grove Barton.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. We have Tyler in Durham and Dakota in Raleigh, ready to battle it out in the numbers game for a pair of tickets to see Keith Urban, Chase Matthew, and Alana Springsteen at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on May 31st. As we always do, I will ask the same question to both contestants. Dennis, our producer/judge, will decide which answer he likes best, and that person will get to go first. Then we'll play the numbers game. Tyler in Durham, are you ready to answer a question?
Yeah.
All right, so the NBA lottery was last night. Dallas got the number 1 overall pick. I ask you this. In all of sports history, any sport, professional, who's the greatest number 1 pick of all time?
Oh, boy. I just forgot every number 1 pick ever. Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning, you said?
Yeah.
All right. This is really the only sport that I can hear a last name and have to, or the only family hear a last name I have to clarify. You said Peyton, not the other Eli? All right, Peyton Manning, locked in as your answer, Tyler. Solid answer. Dakota in Raleigh, you are up next. Same question to you in honor of the NBA draft lottery last night and obviously presumed number 1 pick, Cooper Flagg going to Dallas. Who is the greatest number 1 overall pick in the history of sports?
Oh, that's a tough one. Remembering back to that 2015 season, I got to say Cam Newton now.
Okay. Go. That's not a bad strategy if you're not sure to try to go a little local and get Dennis on your side. Dennis, who's better, Peyton Manning or Cam Newton?
I mean, I got to go Peyton Manning on this one.
All right. Well, it's a good try.
I mean, it really was a good try. It's actually, it's amazing to think, like, well, wait a second, who actually was number 1 overall pick in some of these years?
Do you know I think I would have went? I think I would have gone like Ken Griffey Jr. Just because baseball number 1 picks like aren't even guaranteed to see the show. let alone be all-time greats. The fact that he lived up to the expectation all the way through is pretty good. But basketball like Shaq, Magic, there's some good ones in basketball.
There's some great ones there.
Tyler in Durham gets to go first, I believe, right? Peyton Manning was right. So Tyler in Durham, you get to go first. Dakota and Raleigh, you will have your chance. Just go ahead and stay on the line. Hold for just a little bit. Tyler and Durham, are you ready to pick a category?
Yes.
All right, the categories are NFL, call me Mike. These are all players who are Mike, Michael, Mikey of some kind. NFL players who were drafted in 2005 is another category. NBA players who were all at some point or another Kevin Durant's teammates. And the final category is NHL, Hurricanes only.
NFL, call me Mike.
All right. All players who go by Mike, Michael, or Mikey. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. There'll be 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
No.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Michael Penix, Atlanta Falcons.
8.
Incorrect. Mike Evans, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
13.
Correct. Michael Strahan, New York Giants.
90.
Incorrect. Michael Penix, Atlanta Falcons.
9.
Correct. Mike Vanderjagt, Indianapolis Colts.
Half.
Mike Alstott, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
54.
Incorrect. Michael Strahan, New York Giants.
91.
Incorrect. Mike Vanderjagt, Indianapolis Colts.
92.
Incorrect. Mike Alstott, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's good. It was a good run. You gave it a good try. You came up with 2. You got Penix. You got Evans. Michael Strahan, number 92, is what we were looking for. Vanderjagt, the Indianapolis Colts kicker from back in the day, actually during the Peyton Manning era, for somebody that guessed Peyton Manning. He wore number 12 and number 13 during his time with the Colts, so we would have accepted either. And Mike Alstott, number 40. There's a kid on my Pop Warner team that wore a Mike Alstott jersey to practice every single day. He was our fullback, ironically. I will never be able to forget number 40 Mike Alstott because I can still see that kid in my mind's eye. So who was that? That was Tyler, got 2. Stay on the line. We'll see if it holds up. Dakota and Raleigh, you are up next. Are you ready to pick a category?
Yes.
All right.
I'll tell you right now. Give me the Hurricanes.
All right. I was confident. I'm feeling the energy. Let's go ahead and back it up. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You need at least 3 for the win. And just as a heads up, I will say the team name in this category, even though we know it, simply to keep it fair, timing-wise, with the other competitor. Any questions before we get started?
No.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Mark Jankowski, Carolina Hurricanes.
77.
Correct. Tyson Jost, Carolina Hurricanes.
28.
Incorrect. Scott Walker, Carolina Hurricanes.
63.
Incorrect. Tyson Jost, Carolina Hurricanes.
21.
Incorrect. Scott Walker, Carolina Hurricanes.
56.
Incorrect. Tyson Jost, Carolina Hurricanes.
25.
Incorrect. Scott Walker, Carolina Hurricanes. You were so confident. You got 1. That's not enough for the win. Tyson Jost tripped you up. You were right there. You were in the 20s. You kept peppering the strike zone. We were looking for 27 is what we were looking for Tyson Jost. And Scott Walker with the Canes, 24 is the number we were looking for. Not as close on that one. But you did get Janky. You got Jankowski. So congratulations on that. Unfortunately, not enough for the win, but hopefully you had some fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
All right. That means Tyler and Durham. All you needed was Michael Penix and Mike Evans, and you got the win. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, I couldn't keep the perfect streak going, but I'll take it.
5 is solid. 5. We had 5 straight perfect games. Today, we can reset that clock. So congratulations on the win. Stay on the line to make sure you get your Keith Urban tickets. Normally I don't do this, but I would like some credit here. Scott Walker, Carolina Hurricanes. Not once did I say Sean Walker. Even though every time in my head I went, could have said Sean. Did not let that go. So I am very, very I want my credit for not stumbling through that one. So I always feel bad when I do stumble through it. How about Mike Vanderjagt? Every time I hear Mike Vanderjagt's name, and I don't hear it often, not like he comes up in conversation often. I want to say there was like a Peyton Manning sideline Pro Bowl interview where he had to answer for some comments made by Mike Vanderjagt, who was the Colts kicker at the time, and and I think Peyton may have called him a liquored up kicker. I think. Either that happened or it's a weird memory from like a very vivid dream back in the day. But that's what I think of every single time Mike Vanderjagt's name pops up. I think of that. I think it was a sideline Pro Bowl interview where Peyton called him a liquored up kicker.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's like Vanderjagt was a Pro Bowler. He was a good kicker for a while there, and his whole legacy was boiled down to that. Power of words, everybody. That's what I think of. Before we move on, Dennis, you have something you'd like to tell the people?
I do. Dennis Cox here from my friends over at Law Tigers. Folks, this time of year, you're going to see a lot of different people out there on motorcycles. Now, keep in mind road conditions. Even though I know the weather yesterday stunk, definitely not a good day to go riding on a motorcycle. But sometimes you might think, well, hey, it's not raining today. I'll take the bike out of the road. Well, we all know how things work here in the Triangle in the state of North Carolina. Sometimes that flooding still sticks around. Maybe you got to make sure you check and see how the roadways are before you get on the motorcycle. Also understand as well, if there's a route that you take frequently, know there's road work or things like that going on. Those are kinds of things that help put you in a better position to be safe out there on the bike. But if you are injured in a motorcycle accident, this is where Law Tigers comes in. Give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, before you even contact your insurance companies. We all know insurance companies, they want to give you the least amount possible. Law Tigers, they're riders too. They're there for you. They're part of that motorcycle riding community. They know what your bike is worth. They know what your gear is worth. They know what you're going through after an accident. That's why your case evaluation with Law Tigers is always free, and they don't get a dime until your case settles. So if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. But also, if you want to know more of your rights and what's available for you, just go to lawtigers.com, scroll down on the homepage. They have a free rider benefit kit out there for you. Again, a free rider benefit kit for you. Go to lawtigers.com or give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll be back to talk more about the Canes winning Game 4 and an under-the-radar, maybe best part of the win in Game 4. Stick around.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Want to score points with your boss? Recruit RoofWorks to your building maintenance team to handle your commercial roofing needs. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. We've helped hundreds of Triangle businesses with their commercial roof maintenance, repairs, and if necessary, total replacements. Our pros come to your site, assess your roofing needs, and then give you a range of options to fit your budget. And we'd love to work with you. For roof maintenance and repair, contact us today at roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. All kinds of beers and thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ, J-O-E-Q, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Make your next tailgate more electric when you plug into a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Not only do they light up the scoreboard with outstanding payload and towing numbers, with available Pro Power on board, you can turn these Ford trucks into mobile generators to give your tailgate party an extra boost of energy. Visit your Carolina Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com for great offers and to learn more about F-150 and Super Duty. See Owner's Manual for important operating instructions.
Hey, what do you say? John Forslund here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. We're close to crowning a hockey champion, and when I'm not calling playoff games around the country, the first thing I do when I'm back in the Triangle is head to Buffalo Brothers. The best wings on the planet, and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, like half-price pizzas, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and a $6 Bloody Mary on Sunday. Dine in, carry out, get it delivered. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Hanging on, Walker will make a change. Now Gostisbehere, he scores! Top of the left circle! And Carolina gets the hot start. They're up 1-0. Shane Gostisbehere.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's part of what it sounded like last night as the Canes won 5-2 over the Caps in Game 4, their second-round Stanley Cup playoffs series, which is, I mean, that's fantastic. The Canes woke up 3-1 with a 3-1 games lead over the Caps. That's awesome. You know what the best part is? In some ways, the Canes can still play a lot better. They're up 3-1 with room for improvement. Right? It is really, really a luxury to have things that you point to that go, yikes, right? That needs to be improved and still be good enough and still be picked up with other aspects of your game enough to win 3 out of 4 against the Caps, right? Freddie there's so much good, right? Freddie's been awesome. I've been talking about this probably more so than anyone around me wants to have the conversation. I really enjoy watching the way Taylor Hall sees the game. Little things like his leak out to get the breakaway goal, which was a huge answer for the Canes. I don't need, like, you know, Dennis, you said in the postgame he was talking about like making eye contact with Roslovic and anticipating possession being gained behind the net. Like he was 3-4 steps ahead of maybe where anyone from the Caps was on the ice because he was just seeing it, anticipating it, on the same page with his teammates. I think that's great. I think that's why you brought in Taylor Hall, was to score goals like that and to fit in with the roster. Jarvis scored his first goal of the series. That was great to see. We talked about this earlier. It seems like a really good thing. Every single forward on the team finished +1 when they were on the ice. Exactly +1 in the plus-minus. Like, there was a lot of good, but it wasn't all good, right? I have the things that I think they could improve on. Rod, meaning Rod Brindamore, earlier today spoke with the media. He was asked where he still thinks there can be improvements.
All these games it's a play here or there that really, I think, turn the game. So you got to make sure you're, limiting those opportunities for the other team. I think we can do a better job of that, especially early. And then it's just a matter of sticking with what we're, trying to do out there, and it's hard. I mean, the other team's trying to do it too. And like I said, it's literally comes down, in my opinion, to always there's 1 or 2 plays, and we got to keep pushing to have those.
100% correct. And you never know, right? That's the beauty of sports. You never know which mistake is going to be the one that costs you and which you're going to be able to overcome. But Jack Roslovic made a couple really, really out-of-character decisions, right? Particularly when he was getting back and helping out with the blue line. Gostisbehere, this is not really fair to do, but if you take away the goals, he's been uncharacteristically off. Right now, obviously, with goals, his impact increases quite a bit, and his, scoring goals from the blue line, that's going to help your case. But he's made some decision making and some turnovers and some things that we're not used to seeing from him. Sebastian Aho still hasn't scored a goal in the series. Now, obviously, I've talked about this a lot. Even when he's not playing great for Aho, he's still playing pretty darn good. His floor is exceptionally high, but you want him to score. And there's little things like, hey, when the opposing team features the best power play goal scorer in the history of the game, Orlov probably shouldn't be okay picking up the penalty that he did to give the Caps a 2-man advantage. And he had maybe the quote of the night. Would you like to perform it, Dennis?
Yeah, I almost. Oh, hey, hold on. I almost myself.
Yeah, he was asked what it was like being in the box watching that 2-man advantage, and he said, I almost bleeped myself, which would make a mess. There's a lot of things that they could do well. They could do better. Would be the proper grammatical way to say that. There's a lot of things that they can do better, and that is a luxury. That is a gift, because your coaches still have things to coach hard. I'm not saying any game's ever perfect, but there are certain games where you're like, all right, coach, you're nitpicking here. That you're okay. You want us to watch this on film and watch? Okay, we'll watch it. Yeah, we need to do better. No, this one is one where they bring up clips. There are things to improve on. They can play better. And by the way, you're an elimination game. You have to play better. If they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, you have to play better. You make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, you have to play even better, and there's room for them to do so. Before we move on, the drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, and get you ready for Overdrive. Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending, home of the no-cost loan. 0 means 0 at Miller Lending, by the way. When I say no-cost loan, I'm talking no closing costs, no fees, no third-party fees. I'm not trying to trick you, right? I'm not saying no closing costs, and then there's some other cost or fee to make up for it. No, 0 means 0. And the beauty of that is it gives you the flexibility to refinance over and over and over again without taking money out of your pocket. There are people here in the office that have used Miller Lending multiple times, right? You lock yourself into a mortgage, you have a certain monthly rate. If the rates drop, if the mortgage rates drop, do it again, right? Refinance, get the lower monthly payment, and you can do that as many times as you need to, as many times as the rates keep dropping, if they do. So give them a call. They can explain more about keeping all your options open and taking no money out of your pocket for costs and fees. The number is simple, 919-447-3377, or you can visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, that is millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. The Canes won last night, 5-2. It was awesome. Right about this time yesterday, we were making our final score predictions, and I did predict 5-2, so I'm taking my victory lap there. And I will send you off to Overdrive for more Canes, more national media reaction to the Canes, more culture for the Canes, more wins in Game 4 conversations for the Canes. Game 5 on Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow at 3. Until then, enjoy Overdrive. Enjoy your night, everybody.
Let's go! It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Aho now to Jarvis. Jarvis, go get the chance.
Let's go, Canes!
Kochetkov, stop! It's on the goal line behind him! He does a snow angel in the paint!
Go Canes!
Playoff hockey in Raleigh is something that you can't describe, and it's because of you. So we want to be here.
The Canes' road to the Stanley Cup runs through us. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
A record in sports that would be a big deal if it was broken and we'd all be in on it is 100 points in a game in the NBA.
Oh, yeah, big time.
If I told you within the next 20 years in the NBA, somebody would score 101 points in one game.
I could see it. Couldn't you see a team just waving the white flag and another team taking advantage of that?
Unsportsmanlike.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on